Welcome to the Gamer Actual Podcast, a weekly podcast dedicated on discussing some of the biggest in gaming news. You can find us on all major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, with the visual version of the podcast being available on YouTube at youtube.com/gameractual. This podcast is also brought to you in part by the guys over at X Element. To find out more about X Element, look at the description of this podcast. With all that said, I'm your host, Cash, and with me tonight are my co-hosts, Germ and Heartless. Fellas, what's good? What's popping? Welcome to
Ain't no way.
What?
I just know you sit there and rehearse that daily in the
No, I don't.
mirror.
No, I don't. No,
I
I don't.
know.
I know
I'm
you do.
reading. I don't. I don't. I'm reading it.
That's crazy.
Well, man, shout out to you, man. That's great. That's great stuff.
I want to get to a point where I memorize it, though.
You're
Like,
gonna get
it's
there
just
very
like
soon.
that.
But anyways, we got your boy Germ in the building.
Mhm.
And
What's up,
it's your boy,
everyone?
Heartless.
Before we get too deep into the show, I just want to say a special thank you and a special appreciation to all the mothers out there in the world.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's
showing you
Day.
the appreciation you deserve every day of the year today.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, we can also play music in here, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah, let's avoid those copyrights.
Oh no, it's not. These are all copyright free music that I can play in
Okay.
here. But I'm speaking in regards to just like when we clip and stuff like that. I don't want to put music on, and then our editor has to work around stuff like that. So let's just leave the music out of it for right now. But yeah, yo, we got a stacked podcast tonight, bro. We got a few things that we need to talk about. Like one of the major things is Marvel Rivals. I know we have Joker here on the notes, but we have a bunch of new games that came out this week as well. But it's been kind of tame. Let's be real. Like a lot of these games that are here are very light. Like the biggest one to drop this week would probably be the Marvel Rivals Alpha, right?
I would put
And
Hades 2 up there.
and Hades as well. But I wasn't a real big fan of the Hades, the first one. So I'm not that big on roguelikes like that. That's probably why.
I'm a big fan of Diablo 2 personally.
Yeah.
I mean the original Diablo 2, not this remaster microtransaction crap they dropped a while ago. But the original, I
Yeah.
love it.
So what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Hades, or can we talk about Marvel? You know what? No, let's leave Marvel Rivals for afterwards.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts of Hades? What do you think about Hades? Did you like the first one? Did you play it?
Hades 2. Well, I played a lot of the Hades on mobile, the original Hades.
Mhm,
And I for the same reason got a big blast out of it. I like the Dark Souls-ish slash double Diablo 2 combining of the mechanics. Love it.
Right.
It's really hard in some ways. It's got those gotcha mechanics, and I don't particularly appreciate those, but I never buy anything, so that's it doesn't bother me. I just grind it out, and I'm a fan of roguelikes. Big fan of roguelikes. So I will, as soon as it becomes available to console, I'll be picking this up. That's a guarantee.
One of my friends has been playing this game on stream. Shout outs to Gameplay Couch. He's been really liking the game as well.
Yeah, I follow a guy named Noctem Zero. He's a fellow X Element team member, content creator. He's a big fan of Hades, and he's been grinding this game out like crazy.
This game looks sick.
Yeah.
It does look sick, but it's just like I don't like the whole mechanics of roguelikes. That's just me. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the Rogue Prince of Persia either. But let's see.
For me, the difficulty of roguelikes is what I like, and also what I love about roguelikes too is I could play the same level 20 times and get 20 different experiences. That's what I love about them.
There's also a TMNT game that's gonna be a roguelike. And then I played recently. I played the Hellboy game that came out last year, and I didn't like what I saw. And then I got the game and I played it. Like I experienced the game for myself, and the same conclusion that I came to about the game is the same conclusion.
That's the game you were playing the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I had the art style I didn't appreciate it in that medium. The comic, it was very true to the comics.
Yeah.
Which you celebrate that, but in that medium, that way, it didn't look good in my opinion. But
I feel like the mechanics would have done a lot better. I feel like Devil May Cry's play style would have lent way better to this game
what I didn't
to that game.
what I didn't appreciate is it looks like your only attack when you were playing that game was just punching with the big fist. And it's just like that felt very stale, very
Yeah,
boring. But
that's
I only
pretty
saw
much
a
it.
little bit of it. But yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much
like
it. There's
yeah.
no
Well, I mean,
variety.
but
But also, I just started playing the game as well, so I don't even want to say that. You know what I mean?
and also a person who loves Greek mythology and everything that's tied to it. I really appreciate Hades' aesthetic. Big fan of that gothic Greek kind of twist that this game's going for. I really
Hmm.
like it.
Okay.
I have played the original on mobile a lot, and my only complaint when I was on mobile was if it's really small sometimes on mobile, and you get lost in what you're trying to do. But that's
Yeah,
the
it
original.
is.
I know this would be different, but
Yeah, because the characters are very small. That's the other thing. So my friend, he was playing it on TikTok, and I almost want to ask him like, "Yo, could you just make the screen a little bigger so I can see the gameplay better?" Because it's in a vertical format, and that doesn't look all that great on TikTok. It's
but
kind of
then
hard to see.
having played Diablo 2 as much as I did back in the day, like
Mm,
it just calls back to that for me. So I don't know. It's like I'm conflicted if I like it or if I don't like it compared to today's games. I'm kind of torn on that. I'm not sure which way I fall. If that makes sense.
okay.
Not sure. Because it's a callback, but it also makes me not like cringy a little bit because it's so small compared to what my phone's capable of doing or my TV's capable of doing. You
Right.
know, so
Yeah, I like the game. It looks
Wait,
cool.
so
I'm
do
willing
you
to
make
give
a
it a shot.
custom build?
I don't know. Jeremy's a better
in the
person there.
original, you
Mhm.
have sort of this warrior. There's classes, and you have items and magic or whatever that gives
And you
you
end
abilities.
up essentially making your own build, right?
You could, yeah, in a sense, yeah, and plus it's got those gotcha elements to it where you are opening like quests and you get the loot just like Diablo, and yeah, you build a custom sort of specific to you, and the items that you get are that's what makes it roguelike is the items you collect are only for that particular run, and because
Mm,
you can't carry them to another run
So
subsequent.
how much is this
mm.
game?
Like $30, I think.
Bro, this game would be the sickest game on an iPad.
Yeah, that's facts.
So remember the TMNT game? You're describing what the mechanics of the same TMNT game that I was talking about. Monkey, what's good? Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in,
Happy
Monkey.
Mother's Day,
I
bro.
know
Happy
this
Mother's
day.
Day. So yeah, it definitely that's definitely what they're going for that game. So I'm willing to try it out because it's also multiplayer, which is crazy.
I will
I
say that
wanna
this
experience that with friends.
experience. I will say that this experience is most definitely optimized for mouse and keyboard.
Hmm.
It is optimized for that because the point and click nature of mouse it makes it's optimal way to experience the original. I'd say so. Just to shout that out, but it could definitely work on an iPad, like Harley said.
I mean,
Yeah.
see, the thing for me is like I'm just a hater. So like I look at this game and like the graphics and the simplicity of it, and I'm like, bro, if I'm gonna be on my PC, I'm gonna play one of my AAA games. Not even like my AAA games, but like one of my games, like a Street Fighter or like one of my
Well,
shooters. If I'm gonna be on my PC, I'm gonna play one of those games.
can
Yeah.
But
I agree with what you're going with there, Heartless. I have the same testament with me, my console and my Switch. I only want a certain graphical quality on my Switch, and I want superior graphic quality on my PlayStation. So I know where you're going there.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's one thing I kind of have issue with PC gaming as a whole is PC gaming. They they take a lot of space on your PC, and then you can't use your PC for anything else. You know what I mean?
Pretty
But
yeah,
much. That's
that's
that. Yeah, that's the sucky part about PC gaming for real. I
yeah.
definitely agree, 100%.
I personally hate having to delete something to play something else, but
I mean, I already
yep.
started.
But
but nah, this game looks sick. I'll play it for sure,
Yeah, yeah, I
for
can see
sure.
you playing it. Heartless, I actually do can see you playing this.
yeah,
Wait,
This for sure has like
if
it's
this is
almost like if Elden Ring and Diablo met and had a
yeah,
baby.
if it's reasonably priced, this would be a great community night game for sure.
How many
If
people
you,
can join in and play together?
and I was about to ask.
Original Hades is 4. So I'd
What?
assume
Oh,
it's
really? I didn't know that. That's crazy.
so. I can't confirm or deny if that's the case here, but
This looks
uh,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Wait a minute. How is this showing, bro? I have. Wait a minute. I got
Hey,
Prime,
Disney waits for no one. Disney waits for nobody. You
right?
can never pay too much for Disney. But the game looks cool. It takes me such a callback to Diablo 2 that I want to try it. And I really love when you're talking, your photo of your avatar pops up there, or the person you're talking to. So
Hmm.
it's not just like Diablo where the little avatar's there and they're talking, and you don't get to see the model. You know what I'm saying? I think that I like that touch too.
It's very similar to Prince of Persia, the last one,
Hmm.
Lost Crown.
I like it. Pick it up for all the PC players. I'm
Um,
always lagging behind as a console player.
yep.
It's only a
Another.
PC game. Huh, wow.
Hmm. Another game that recently came out was V Rising. V Rising is something I think is pretty interesting, to be honest.
I'm gonna get on the
Jerem,
screen.
yeah, I'm putting it.
This game is pretty cool. If you like vampires, this is the type of game that you would like. It's an RPG, side-scrolling type adventure game. It takes think Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, combined with some more platforming and less Castlevania elements. So it's like
I think
that.
they have
It's
a
very
crossover
narrative
Castlevania.
driven. Yeah, it's very narrative driven. It's got more RPG elements, I'd say, than Castlevania does, but I would call this more of a narrative driven side scrolling game because it's not like it has a pretty intense story overall.
Hmm. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I personally have never been a person that connects with vampires. It's just not my style of
Oh, it
gameplay.
has a customization feature.
Don't tell that to the Slayer fans.
I like vampires has always been something in media that I just kind of like when they come up, I don't get excited because I never have had an affinity for vampires.
Hmm.
Um, but I'll probably
You're just
pass on
giving
this
extra
one.
money to game devs.
Yeah, I'll probably
Hey, Monkey asked me,
I'll probably
Cash, what's
pass
your
on this
cap
one.
about? Oh yeah, it's a Naruto. It's a cat in Naruto garb.
So any person who likes like me who likes the Greek mythology, this is essentially Vampire Hades, essentially. So
Essentially.
if you've
Hmm.
I like Hades for the Greek mythology aesthetic. If you like vampires, choose this one instead. You know,
Hmm.
um, I would. That's how I would attest this.
Yeah, this isn't for me. I
Anyone
already know that.
remembers the game Champions of Norrath? Call back to the PlayStation 2 days.
Nope.
One of my favorite titles growing up. This is
Mm.
like that.
Cash, this is right up your alley.
No, it's not this. I'm nope. Nope.
Why not?
How do
I'm
you
not
not
doing
know?
this.
You got on me for not knowing Titanfall. Like, come on,
I
you
mean,
guys.
because that's Titanfall.
Champions
That's
of
Titanfall.
Norrath, one of the greatest American ARPGs in the PlayStation 2 era. So good.
I'm not really feeling this. It looks slow to me.
Makio says it looks cheap.
It's just-
That's it. It's an indie game, kinda. Yeah, it's an indie
It
developed
is an indie
game.
game. It
So
is
it
not.
has that. It has that aesthetic. You know.
But it's slow. All right. So you see how Hades is like fast paced, and I think I'd choose Hades over this because of that. I like faster games.
And on that note, it's hard to go back and play old games. And I'm going to tell you a bit of a story here. When I was playing Third Strike
Backlog.
and Street Fighter 2 on my 30th anniversary collection, and compared to like Street Fighter 6, those games are slow as fuck. The movement is so slow.
What
It's hard
is
to go
going
back.
on
It's really
here?
hard.
I know what it is. I know what the situation is. Let's fix that real quick. I'm on the wrong profile. That's why. I'm on the wrong profile, which is
I
why I keep getting ads.
And I think this is one of those games that tickles if you are into this genre of this ARPG style. this is for you. And
Mhm.
I and I do know that people who like these games are really passionate about them. So I would say check it out if you like that genre of game.
I don't mind these genres of games, but like I said, I'm not a big fan of this one particularly. I don't like what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate and the original Baldur's Gate, if anyone knows about those, or another one of my favorite RPGs of all time.
Mhm.
Hardest, crazy hard, crazy, but I like it. I like that too. But this is not quite like that.
So Monkey asked why give it a pass if it's because it's an indie game. I feel like because they don't have the budget, we kind of have to. You
Well,
know,
No, you
they
don't.
they're
If it's a bad game, it's a bad game.
well,
but I don't think this is a bad game. It's just not for me. That's what I'm
well,
saying.
what I'm championing is I don't want it to dismiss games just on the graphical quality of them. Judge it on the gameplay. And if this is a gameplay that you like and have experienced in previous games, at least give it a try.
Yo, we all
Yeah,
love Power World. Don't.
Yeah.
It's
that's
not
exactly what
entire.
I'm saying. No,
It's
no,
not
but
about the graphics.
no, it's
Yeah.
not about the graphic. But like I said, Heartless, I didn't say anything about the graphics.
No,
The
no, for
game
sure,
looks
for
slow.
sure, for sure. I'm the one who said that. If I'm gonna hop on
Yeah.
my PC, I want to play a high, but like, yeah, I don't want to play a game that looks like it could have been made in 1996, unless it's a sprite-based fighter. Sorry.
Right. Nah, this looks too slow for me personally. That's just what I'm saying.
Oh, it has
Not my
building
not
mechanics
my cup of
too.
tea.
Is he
It has
building?
it
Yeah,
has
he's
building
building.
mechanics
I didn't know
too.
you could build. I
A little
didn't
bit
know
of
you could build in this
StarCraft,
game.
a little bit of StarCraft action. Let's go.
What $13 donation from
Oh, this
Levi
is where we're playing.
Robertson?
Yeah, this is where we're playing. I
This
couldn't
sounds
find
this
actual
this
gameplay
sounds
from the
like
devs.
Levi sounds like somebody that appreciates his ARPGs. Thanks,
For
thanks,
Right?
you, thanks
sure,
you.
For
for
sure.
sure.
But yeah,
Uh, I would probably not buy this for the vampire aesthetic, but if it had another thing going for it, but I would at least. I
bro, the
say this a
only
lot on this
issue,
podcast. If it had a
bro,
demo, I would
if
be more comfortable with buying it for
no,
sure.
for me, if this game was faster, if this game were faster, I'd probably play it. It just I don't like how the character moves.
What
It
if you
moves too
could
slow.
teleport and turn into bats and disappear and
No,
then
still too slow.
reappear somewhere
The
else?
movement. I'm talking about just the movement in general. The movement in general. I don't like it.
I see where you're coming from on that, Cash.
Yeah, I don't like the movement whatsoever.
And
But
keep in
yeah.
mind, this is a PC exclusive, so it's probably you're not moving with an actual control stick. It's probably point and click,
Mhm.
probably. So,
It looks
yeah,
like it's point and click because this. I'm seeing a cursor here. I'm seeing like a I
but
think it is. I think it is. It is actually. It looks like that's what it is.
all right. What's the next game we want to talk about?
We're not talking about all these games. We can just
No,
kind of slightly. So there's Cyber
just
Citizenship, Shopman 3, Princess from
I
Another
got one
World.
I'd like to
We're
talk
not talking
about.
about that.
I would just
Wait.
like you to at least put 1 second of
Ooh.
graphic for the little kitty game. Just 1 second of graphic,
Yes,
Cash. 1 second. Just
yes.
one. Give us 10 seconds of.
Let's see Little Kitty Big
For
City.
our audio audience, if you saw the face I was making right now. All
Let me
right, cool.
say.
Sure.
What? Just 10 seconds.
Oh,
That's all we ask. Is
So
10
Little Kitty Big City, I actually played it with my daughter
Really?
on Friday. We played it on Friday.
Okay, so while
It's
he's pulling that up, let me shout out this game for a couple of minutes, folks. There's a game coming out for the Nintendo Switch, your PC, and Xbox, but weirdly, no PlayStation. If anyone remembers Stray, this
I
is
remember
just like
Stray.
that, but 10 times cuter. It's an anime art style. You're
Isn't
in this
this
little
from the
cat.
developers of the Duck game?
Yeah, the duck game. You wander around the city as this little cat trying to get these people's attention, and you're just living your best life as a little animated black cat. Like, what is not to love? What is not to love?
The Untitled Goose Game, I think the game was called
Yeah.
that they made, right?
Where you're just a goose and you annoy people. Welcome in Shank.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
exactly what it was.
this is that, but a cat. Like, what in a big city like New York? Like, what is not to love here? I talk about games where you could just pass the time and have a good time. Yeah, this this just looks like a meme factory. You know, I this looks fun, and
Little kitty
for
big
Yes,
city.
got it on screen. Let's go.
and games are supposed to bring people together, and this is a great game. Remember when we were all having fun in our living rooms with our
It looks like
Wii
a fun
playing stuff like
platformer.
this as a kids? This takes me back. Takes me
Mhm.
back to those experience. And who doesn't want to be a cat and just pissing New Yorkers off all day? Like, look, the cat just tripped that lady. Oh man, so cool. I want to try this.
Yeah, it does play. It
Just
is a platformer for the
Yeah,
most
it's
part.
it's essentially just like Stray, but
Mhm.
a little just more, meant for the kids,
I
It's
have
more cell
Stray. I
shit,
like
and you
it.
sell. You have Stray?
It was gifted to me, yeah, like a
Oh,
year
really?
ago. Yeah, a year ago.
I've never played Stray, but
I
I
have it.
talked about it.
Stray was a game of the year contender the year it came out, if I remember correctly. Um, and look at that! Like he just knocks over the. What an obnoxious cat! Like this is the ultimate trolley cat in the world. And look at that,
No,
the
no,
guy.
no. You, whoever is operating the cat, is it? You don't have to do that.
Juju, welcome in.
Welcome
Hey, yo,
in.
Juju, welcome in. Shank, welcome in.
Uh,
Hayes, welcome in. I didn't see you
for
guys.
me, all the other games I've been on the fence about, I would
Mhm.
buy this
Of course, Jerem.
if it was under $20. This would be a guaranteed buy for me.
Jerem, you'd
Guaranteed.
buy
That's
this if it was
crazy.
$60.
German would send them extra money. Yo, Franco and No Soul, welcome in as well.
Welcome
Everyone
in,
just hopped in
everybody.
like
Welcome in,
60
welcome
people.
in, welcome in.
No,
You just tuned in to one of our podcasts, Shank. Not Shank, Franco. I think this is your first time hopping in on one of our podcast nights. Shout out to you.
Yeah, this is a $25 max. I would buy this and be absolutely thrilled. I love this. Looks so fun.
It was fun. It was actually, but because I was playing with my kid too, so she laughs
See?
about pretty much everything this damn cat
And
said.
this is, in my opinion, these are games that all fathers and mothers that are gamers need to have games like these in the collection. So when your nieces and nephews come over, or if you want to play with your kids,
And you can't go in the
build those
water either.
you build those bonds of like
Mhm.
memories playing games like these, because I'm sure we
Watch, watch,
all
watch, watch this,
did.
watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. If he goes to the water, he's gonna jump.
Because if anyone remembers some of our best moments probably growing up, we're playing Wii with the family. Does anyone
Mhm.
remember those times? And every gamer that is a parent needs to have a game like this in their collection to play with kids, I think.
Mhm. Be real, they're just gonna
Nah,
load
I'm
up
teaching my kids Street
GTA.
Fighter. My kids are learning Street Fighter for sure.
No, there are some games. So like I'll play Spyro every now and again. So my kids go watch it. Paw Patrol. My daughter likes Paw Patrol. I have Pepper Pig on Xbox as well. She plays that every now and again.
And
So
this looks
there are
fun.
a few games.
I don't even need a kid to play this. I think I would enjoy it. Just a trolley cat pissing people off all day. Sign me up. This looks so fun.
Yeah. But yeah. Um.
Okay, so that was my 2 or 3 minutes on that one. It was
No,
yeah.
the game is cool.
That was-
Also, there's a game that Jerm brought up last week, and I made fun of the game, and then I actually got a review copy of the game, and it's actually pretty cool. Which
No,
was
you shot it
Lullaby
out,
of
man.
Life.
Well, let's
Lullaby of
see.
Life.
Platform.
You remember that game, Harless?
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
platformers.
I got a review copy of the game,
I know. I heard you. And I
and
seen you talk about it in the chat earlier.
it was cool. It was cool. It was cool.
You
My
said it was
daughter was watching me
difficult.
play that as
And
well. It
and
is very tricky. It is very tricky.
Heartless always has the idea that platformers are taking a step back, but there's a lot of creative things.
I
you can do with
didn't.
platformers. A lot of creative
I
things.
just played platformers as a kid. I had the Super Mario's, the Sonic the Hedgehog, the
So
Sonic
are you saying they're beneath
Advance.
you? Are you trying to say they're beneath you?
Why Heartless sound like you on a laptop mic? Oh, maybe the microphone.
That's
Maybe.
exactly. Yeah, it was picking up the other microphone.
Why would it do that? Okay, now it sounds
There
like
we go.
Sounds much better. Yeah.
we live in a whole new world, everybody.
So wait a minute. So you have two microphones?
No, it's the microphone on the webcam.
Okay, cool.
Hey,
you for
I
that.
did hear it, but I was like, it didn't even dawn on me to like ask
Well, can
questions.
we just
Crazy.
say, can companies stop doing that, making these products that have all these features on them? Like,
That's why I love Elgato, because for the most part, nobody uses a webcam microphone. Let's be
we
real.
need we
Nobody
need
uses it.
we need to dedicate like having specialized stuff. I understand there's budget stuff out there, but like
Hmm.
companies stop doing this.
But yeah, what was I saying again? What were you talking about?
You was talking about depositing $1,000 into my bank account.
Oh yeah, sure. Hmm. Once I get rich,
No, we were talking about
Uh,
that Amoeba game and how I don't like platformers.
Yes, yes. We said something else, but we
Uh,
lost track of that.
I would no listen. I was saying like I played my Sonic Advance. I played my Super Mario's on the Genesis. I did it. I did it.
that's the point
I,
I'm making, Harless. Like those games, platformer games, there's still so much more that can be done.
No, no. Heartless thinks he's better than platformers, and
Mhm.
you
From a
know that's
gameplay
what it is.
perspective, there's infinite
Bro, there's games
possibilities.
out there where you move around in a 3D environment.
Yeah, and those games are great too. It's
You, you
variety.
you
It's
know,
variety in games.
then there's
Oh, the
games out
cats
there.
talk.
You know,
I
it's
didn't
funny.
know.
The game I play the most, you don't even get to move around in a 3D environment.
Yes, a fighting game. Street
But
Fighter.
Yeah.
You can't even sidestep. Tekken, you can do that. I'm just
Yep.
saying.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
But hey, what do I know? I think that's why we're gonna get him to play thing, Jeremy. He's gonna play Prince of Persia,
Yeah.
Lost
Well,
Crown.
boys, we have 8 more of these to go. After the day, 7 more
Hmm.
of these to go,
Yep.
and platform. Well, how long are we gonna? I'm commit. I think it should be at least 4 hour stream, but hey, that's probably pushing it a bit.
And we would sit there and basically just watch him just react to Heartless playing it. And we're
We would
all
just
gonna
be
do this
so.
on guest star, and you're just gonna share your screen, and we're just gonna watch you play
It
on
would be a
stream.
4 hour trolling session of Heartless playing platformers.
Yo,
yo, you
Danny
see
said
what Danny
Heartless
said?
wouldn't be great at platformers the way he jumps on Street Fighter.
Yo, I'm killing people out there though. Like, we're not gonna lie. I'm not sitting there at 1300. I'm not sitting there at 1300. We
Mm,
out here.
We out here.
16-14, baby.
yeah, bro.
16-14, baby. Talk
Mm.
about that for gaming news.
Let's go. Let's go.
And another game that came out this week.
Wait.
So let's kind of quickly breeze through the games that came out this week. Cyber Citizens Shopman 3. I don't know what that is. Hades, we already discussed Hades. Plushie from the Sky. What the hell? Prison Architect. Again, no, I don't know if anybody's really interested in Prison Architect. Um, Animal Well, don't know what that is. Crow Country, Little Kitty, Big City, like we just discussed. The Bridge Curse 2, Extraction. I don't know what that is.
So
Um,
we have Shockman 3. It's just like a Contra style platformer or Ghost and Goblin style.
oh, no, I know what that is. I'm sorry. I did see the gameplay for that.
And then Plushie in the Sea. It's kind of JRPG, kind of like Genshin Impact kind of thing,
Yeah,
style
okay. Yeah, I
RPG.
can miss with that.
And then we have Prison Artifact. Think Pal World, but prison. You just build a prison all day. It's kind of like that, like Sims Prison. There's all these basically save that ass mechanics. You know what I'm saying? And like if you're in prison, you have to build your prison and do the politics of prison. And it's got
Oh no,
like
I
this
definitely know what Prison Architect is,
style.
but I don't think anybody here is really interested in it. Let's be real.
And then we have Animal Well. That one is another platformer. It's kind of like Terraria in a lot of ways, but it has more platforming elements to it. And then we have Crow Country. That one is, if anyone's played Alone in the Dark back in the day, think potentially we're taking the gameplay of Resident Evil 2 and combining it with Alone in the Dark. It's got that old
Oh, okay.
style aesthetic like that. That's one actually seems pretty cool. I know we won't go over it, but if you guys are interested, let me put a trailer here that you guys can watch, because I think just the charm, the looking of this game seems really, really interesting.
I have the trailer here already.
I know we got to move on, but the Yeah, and then Bridge. We already talked about Kitty, the Bridge Curse Extradition. That is a horror game. This is straight solo. If you're listening, this would be a game that you would like.
So it's like a retro style
yeah.
3D
Look,
game.
yeah,
It's made almost to look like a N64 game on
yeah. It reminds
PS1.
me of Silent Hill, like with Alone in the Dark aesthetic. Not the new Alone in the Darks, but the old ones. Kind of aesthetic.
Bro, this is a PlayStation 1 game.
That's what I said.
I like it. It looks cool.
Oh my,
But
this is Final Fantasy 7.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
one of the greatest JRPGs of all time.
It's definitely meant to be that way, no? So
Yeah,
definitely.
this
That's
is
the
an
idea.
artistic choice. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
an
it is for
artistic
sure.
choice. Yeah, and
It's for
I'm
people
vibing
who
with
miss that time in video games, you know, which I think is cool. It's fine.
But that was a lot of releases this week. Like whenever we have multiple releases, there might be a point where we need to have multiple podcasts a week to cover all these games.
Oh, I'd love that, but like again, it comes down to time
Gotta
and all
get
that other stuff.
rich.
I think maybe
Exactly.
we should have one episode, if we get to that point, one episode podcast. We just go over the new releases, and then we have the regular one like we do here.
That'd be cool. That would definitely would be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be a shorter
Okay.
episode that we just talked
Now
about all those games.
Now that we have the power of Restream behind us, the production's endless.
All right, so another game that came out this week. I don't know if you guys. It's not a game. It's not a full game per se. It is the alpha for Marvel Rivals. I didn't get a code, unfortunately. I did apply, but bummer, didn't get one. But the game looks amazing to me. It reminds me of Overwatch and Gigantic. That's one of the games I think it really reminds me of Gigantic. I think the game's gonna be very good, bro. I feel like a lot of people are gonna like that game. Plus, it's free to play on top of it. So
yeah, the next we'll talk more about it, but that's the linchpin right there. I think that's what's going to bring the player base in, that it's free to play.
yeah, the communities. I think it's gonna have a strong community behind it. It's gonna be a Marvel fan base and a MOBA fan base. That's my opinion. It's gonna be a combination of both.
On it. I'll save my friends for when we actually dive into the alpha later in the show, but the game has swept me off my feet. It looks so good.
Mm-hmm. No, we could talk about it right now since we're already gonna segue into it. We could talk about that right now. So, the closed. So a lot of people so far, I think, are enjoying the game. They're really enjoying the game. I don't know about what are your thoughts. Like for Heartless, I want to know what you think about the game, Jerem. Before you hop in, Jerem, because I think I can already gauge what you're gonna say. What are your thoughts?
I was blowing up your chat yesterday about it.
My thoughts on the game is it looks really cool, and it has like 39 characters. Look, this looks really, really cool.
Yes,
I like it.
39 characters that were data mined, pretty much.
Yeah,
I have
allegedly.
to see
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly.
So my thing is, games like this, I feel like there's a potential it could end up wonky, if anyone knows what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
In what way?
Do you have a comparison?
I have to play the game. I have to play the game and see if the game is smooth. And we don't have like a bunch of wonky mechanics. You know what I'm saying? Like even Overwatch from time to time can do weird things with some of the mechanics. You have so many mechanics going across the screen, so many different things happening at the same time. If the game is sound and secured, this game looks really fun. It's not first person.
Yeah, the Hulk looks freaking crazy,
bro.
And then I was surprised to find out this has like a payload mode, just like Overwatch. So they are actively trying to compete with Overwatch.
They are actively saying they're putting Overwatch on notice. Be like, hey, we're coming for your players. Like
I just realized
it. You know,
hold up. I just realized Hulk has like a second level to it. He can get bigger.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys noticed that just now.
Like an overdrive mode or an extra.
Yeah, watch this. Watch this. He got bigger. Look.
Yeah, it's like Winston. He's like Winston.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, sweat. And plus, what I think is going to help make this game awesome, help bring especially old Overwatch players back, is it's 6v6. It's not 5v5 like Overwatch changed it. It's going to be 6v6. So anyone that preferred
matter if it's
that
6v6 or 5v5, people are going to find a way to complain about something.
The six v
I
six,
like
but
that.
I
I
like the
first
6v6 though.
I didn't like how Overwatch switched it from 6v6 to 5v5. It already made a game that was already stale in my eyes, extra stale, because there
Mhm.
was less variety.
I
Um,
think they
Yeah,
they
but
had an issue with the tanks.
at least it gave the DPS and the support more value to the team. Like the game Overwatch now, correct me if I'm wrong if you guys have a different opinion on this, but I feel like it requires less team synergy for you to be a successful Overwatch player than
but I
Overwatch
think
1
that's
did.
the problem, and that's why it got stale. Is because that that sixth character could have been any number of characters that synergizes and kind of keeps things fresh because you don't know what the composition of the other team's going to be. When they
Mhm.
limited it to 5v5, it made Diva, Winston, Roadhog, not Roadhog, Road with the Junker guy. The sniper. It made all the teams the same all the time. It never changed because it was optimized in that sense. So I think 6v6 is the way to go.
That's
What
Or
else? It seems there's a lot of DPS characters in here.
yeah, and considering 39 character and such a huge variety, I don't know if you're able to put the list up, Cash, but such a
how many
huge.
abilities?
What do you
So
mean?
Look, he's
let's
got a
Oh
normal
yeah,
attack, heavy
let
blow.
heavy
He's got
blows.
Hulk smash, indestructible guard, radioactive lockdown, incredible
Can you
lead, gamma
switch them
burst.
out?
No, they all have a different keybind.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, incredible
So
leap.
a 39 character roster has been leaked so far, allegedly. We already knew about some: Black
Mhm.
Panther, Groot, Hela,
I don't
Hulk,
know.
Iron Man,
I don't know.
Loki, Luna,
Uh,
Snow,
you don't know
Magic,
what Heartless?
Magneto, Mantis, Namor, Penny Parker, Rocket,
This
Raccoon,
is gonna be
Scarlet Witch,
incredibly hard to
Spider-Man,
balance.
Star Lord, Storm, and Punisher. Those ones we already knew about.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Because of all the abilities?
Look at Overwatch. You get 2 abilities per character in the ultimate. This thing,
Mhm.
you have 5 abilities and an ultimate or
Mhm.
a team up ability.
Yeah.
Is
The
there?
team up ability
And look, you
is
can
more
keep
of like a
scrolling down. You can keep scrolling down.
yeah, the team up ability is like almost like a team alt. Like you can
Yeah, but you can
no,
keep
or
scrolling
it's a
down.
passive.
So
No, it's
there's
a passive. No, the team up ability is a passive. So that means if I pick Iron Man and you pick because Iron Man and Hulk have a passive team up ability.
this is
See,
gonna
and
be
it
chaos,
ties me
bro.
back to what I said. That's a
This is
good
gonna be
thing.
absolute madness.
That's a
And
good thing, Heartless.
39 characters on release. I promise y'all, nobody's gonna be happy.
That's a good thing. A little bit of chaos
No,
is good
but the
for
thing
games
is,
like these
I don't
because it
think I
keeps things exciting.
yeah,
You
but
never know
here's the
what you're
thing
going to run
too. Here's
into.
the thing too. I don't think people are also blowing this out of proportion. I think not all these characters, these 39 characters, we're not going to see them all at once. It's not like they're going to drop day one. I think they're going to gradually roll them out like they do in Overwatch. That's
Yeah.
what I think it's
So
going to
they
happen.
show you all 39 just to be
No,
like,
it's not. These are leaks. So this was a data mine. So it's an alleged data mine
I see.
that
Yeah.
exactly. So not all of these characters you're gonna see at launch. Not all of them are gonna.
Allegedly.
I
Yeah.
think about only. I think eight to 10 are gonna be there at launch. I think.
And plus, they're the characters that were in the leak
Mhm.
that was reporting, that were data mined. We have Adam Warlock, Black Widow, Blade, Captain America, Cloak and Dagger, Jeff the Land Shark, Hawkeye, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, Iron Fist, specifically a female Iron Fist, Lynn Lee. Moon Knight, Mr. Fantastic, Psylocke, Squirrel Girl, The
I think Lindley
Thing,
is the most
Thor,
Can
recent
we
one.
and
find somebody
Ultron.
find somebody else's abilities, or we just have the Hulk?
I think they're gonna scroll through it.
No Soul saying that there's only 3 abilities.
What I have seen when I've watched people play the Alpha 2 is they have skins, and the
Wait a minute.
skins give you
Here are
abilities
the
as
abilities.
well.
Here are the abilities. Oh, skins have new abilities as
Yeah.
well. What?
So if you have a skin and it might have a buff or a different ability, and it'll change your character. Like for example, Spider. I was the character person I was watching, Spider-Man. His alternate skin they've released so far is that rocker British
And it
Spider-Man.
adds an ability.
Pause. Stop.
It gave him the ability to have like this big stun attack. So when he hit the guitar, it made like this big
So it's
wave.
like a loadout. So they'll have loadouts.
This game's gonna be madness, guys. Madness.
Pause, pause, stop. Wait. Do you guys see that there's 3 layers to the Hulk here? There's
Mhm.
Bruce Banner, there's a regular Hulk, and then there's the bigger Hulk over here. So there's Monster Hulk, and he has another set of abilities here.
Dude,
He
this
has
is
World
so
Breaker.
cool.
He has what the
Okay.
bro?
So let's
Bro.
talk about player expression for a minute. The best games in the world that people keep coming back to have great ways of player expression. And what is more expressive than this? Being able to customize your loadout and be able to play Hulk different than someone else plays Hulk.
Pause.
This
Pause
is
for a
so
second.
cool.
Pause.
Danny
No,
says no Nova game's a wash. Like a lot of
we
people
need-
are having issues
pause.
about
We need a
the lack
serious
of
pause.
characters. Okay,
Lack
We
of
need to
let's go.
characters. Ugh.
all right, let's go.
We'll
Alright.
get. I have a take on that. We'll come back after Heartless. says.
Heartless, yeah, Heartless.
Yeah. The thing about a team-based shooter, was that what we're gonna call it? What do we categorize these?
It's a MOBA. I think it's gonna be a MOBA.
Yeah, it's a hero. It's a team.
It's a hero shooter.
Yeah.
The thing about hero shooters is
Choose your words carefully, Heartless.
I get it. I get it. The thing about hero shooters is one of the problems about hero shooters is you have professional players and casual players, and you have low level players, professional players. They're all gonna hop into the game, and they all have to experience the game. They're gonna get their own individual player experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
People, there's going to be thousands and thousands of people who say this game is trash because my teammates never do the things I need them to do. Blah, 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 blah.
That happens already.
It already happens. It does. Trust me, it already happens. Now imagine you add customizable character builds. Nobody's going to get on the same page ever. And they're going to blame everyone. And this game is not safe for the girl gamers out there.
You're going with the League of Legends direction, Heartless, and I agree. I don't disagree with that take at all, but I actually think that strengthens a game like this because if you're trying to retain a player base, you want to have people you click with, right? And I'm going to get a team of people and we're going to make our custom loadout. We're going to test it out and have a great time. And they're going to release new things and we're going to test out builds.
What about counterplay? How can me as a team, me and my 5 other people discuss counterplay?
You would have to understand what loadout
we don't
the character
even know
has.
what build that they're gonna have on their Hulk.
I get what he's saying. I totally get what he's saying now.
I think that's part of the fun because you're trying to build a community. And you're
trying to build a team game that does not incentivize, like that does not like nurtures the word. It does like not nurture the team elements. I don't know. It could be amazing for all I know.
Pause. I know what he's talking about because all right, think about this. Think about it this way. Think about Street Fighter, right? We know that our characters are basically locked in one kind of archetype, right? If they do this, you can constantly change the archetype of one character, bro.
I think that is so cool.
Imagine every Akuma that you fight is like, slightly different.
That is insane, Jerm.
It brings me back to like I like Symmetra. I love playing Symmetra. I just love everything about the character. But her archetype is so specific that you can't play her in most teams. So it was if I could adjust her.
Imagine Symmetra hop on Far's a jetpack and start flying around.
Bro,
I love Symmetra, and I would love to be able to adjust her kit to be able to play.
But look at the whole difficulty, though. Look at it.
Hades has a good point, though. It needs a team preview, so you would have to be able to look at your enemy's builds.
But you can balance stuff like this.
I think it would do it, though. I think it probably would.
You can balance stuff like this with power scaling, and I'll use King of Fighters as an example. It's a different game, but I'll use it as an example. So in some King of Fighters, you have your 3 composition team, and there are some characters that are really unbalanced if you put them together. So each character has a point allocations to it, and you have to be at a certain range of points. So you could do that with a game like this and maintain a level of balance. So like if you add certain skins or if you add certain things, it gives you like a certain power ranking. You have to stay within a cap. As a team composition, if you go that route, you can balance it like that.
Iron Man looks cool.
So, but the game looks so fun, and The
Go
game
ahead,
looks,
Jordan.
but
No,
also
so
in terms of the character thing, like this game's gonna be so cool with the characters. And then when if you guys heard me read the roster, the alleged roster that's coming out, a lot of Fantastic Four representation. And looking across all media, the Fantastic Four have been left out. They're not really prominent parts of Marvel anything for the last 30 years almost. So
Mhm.
anyone who's a fan of Fantastic Four is gonna flock to this game, and that's gonna
But
be a lot of classic
ho-
Marvel
I'm
fanboys.
but
gonna
hold
say some classic hater
go
shit.
ahead, and then I share my point.
No Soul said, I knew No Soul was gonna say this, and I love him to death. He
Mhm.
said, just play Paladins. That's legit the point. Everyone is slightly different because you can customize your characters in Paladins, right? But
Oh, I
there's
didn't know
no
that.
competitive integrity in that. And if you look at Twitch, Paladins has 456 viewers. Now, I like and Overwatch, as unbalanced as it is,
Mhm.
still is probably 20 to 40,000 viewers.
Right, and it's way more balanced than
And I hate to say this, but the more buttons you put per character, the more customizable the character is, the harder it is to balance the game. And then on top of that, you make a game where there's you and 5 other people have to then come up with team decisions in an objective based game. It's not a death based game, it's an objective based game.
Mhm.
I don't think there's any chance for like an esports type situation for this game.
With this.
With
I'm
this
gonna
game, I don't
say,
think so.
I
I'm here for
look
the
at
hype.
League. Look at League though.
I'm here for the hype that those chaos moments can create. Sure, it'll
But
be fun for
no,
me
but hold
from
up,
time to
but
time.
League has that level of customization, Heartless, and it has a esports scene. So there's also
I
that.
almost feel like
I'm here for the hype on that because think about all traditional sports. Like, what are some of the most hype moments in sports? Is like when the guy hits the three from third from half court. When the guy when the runner hits the hole and takes it all the way to the touchdown. You know, like
Well,
those moments. While you're ready for them and you're happy for them, but they don't come across that often. But when they do, dude, it's so hype, and
I'm
that's where
going
the
back to
energy
being a
comes
hater.
from.
I'm going
Yeah.
back to being a hater. Cash said league, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. What does league not have that Overwatch has?
What does League not have that
That
Overwatch
Overwatch
has?
has.
I
Yes.
don't know.
It does not
They have
have
Riot. They have Riot, who has actually supported the game and balanced the game
no.
and actually made
I'm
the
sorry. I
game.
should have questioned it differently. I should
Yeah.
just tell you aiming. League does not have aiming. So
Mm,
therefore you must put extra elements into the game
mm,
to make it a competitive game, to
right.
make it a high intensity game. It doesn't. Overwatch is
When you
one of
but
the hardest games to aim
when
in
you aim
because
with the
there's so much
mouse
movement.
in league though, that isn't that you have to be pretty precise a lot of the time with some of these builds.
You're okay. It's
So
your clicking point. Trust your clicking point, but it's not the same. The mechanical requirement to play League is not the same as the mechanical requirement to play Overwatch. So therefore, there must be more mathematical elements to the game for it to be a stimulating game to the people who are the greatest gamers in the world.
but
Right.
then Marvel here is not only shooters. Like Hulk doesn't have a gun, you know? So it's like
Bruce Banner does.
so aiming is not
Doesn't he
necessarily
just
going to
clap?
be
He
a
claps and it shoots them.
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm
a gamma
saying
wave.
is
It's a gamma wave.
while aiming may be a part, it's not going to be like what the game is built around, like Overwatch is. Remember when we talked about this game before, and I was a little like, "Whoa, there's not a lot of guns here. Like this is going to be weird." But now having actually seen gameplay and seen how people are reacting when they do these amazing things, like Iron Man's Omni Laser or whatever, it's really
So
cool.
he has the Unibeam and the Repulsor Blast.
Yeah.
He has an invincible pulse cannon. What the
So
fuck?
one thing I did see someone do
Hypervelocity.
was they used his like big blast like that and it took out a building and then they made like
Yeah.
a shortcut. So while
Yeah,
like
because it's
you're facing the
destructible.
enemy,
The
you
environment is
surprise them, you
destructible.
flank them essentially like real warfare is because you created a new lane, a new way to attack them. I thought that was super cool.
I'll say this: if Overwatch, my mind's still on this. If Overwatch had the level of complexity per character as League of Legends, the game would have been dead on launch. It would have been dead years ago.
How
It
so?
would
And
the barrier to entry would just be too high.
Well, Overwatch has sustained because it started out great and it was a great experience and it brought people together in the beginning.
Bro, this game looks sick though, bro. Like, look at
Overwatch has sustained because it grabbed a player base, and there has been no other game to challenge that gameplay.
bro, and the
this is the
traversal.
yeah.
Pause for a second. Even the traversal in this game is kind of insane when you think about it. Look at it.
Question. Why do you think that they make you play the game first before you can invite people?
Because they want you to feel out the game before you
Because they
invite
need
people.
you to learn the game first before you
Mhm.
bring people and get them more confused. Because this game has a shit ton of abilities and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I get what Heartless is saying.
I can understand the
Mhm.
scrubby aspect that you're describing, Heartless, and that is, but I think it's a kind of like a tug and a pull. To make the game fun and engaging for everyone, you need to have a certain level of scrubbiness to it because these games are not played for money. There's just rankings, you know? So there has to be a certain level of scrubbiness to keep players in.
The best way to compare it, I would say, and shoot me down if you guys feel this way. If Overwatch was Street Fighter, this would be DBFZ.
In Overwatch or a Street Fight.
I would
if
call
okay.
this Marvel
Street
3.
Fighter,
Like I
this
said,
would
Street
be
Fighter 6
DBFZ.
is
Marvel.
Overwatch. If Street Fighter 6 is Overwatch, I would call this Marvel 3. Like it has to, you have to be fine-tuned with your purpose and your composition, but it can be pretty scrubby at times, Marvel. You
See
know?
this right here.
No.
You see this right here,
Yeah.
the swinging mechanic.
Yeah,
Have you
swinging, the
guys
flying.
played Spider-Man
Bro,
games
bro,
and been like,
look at the abilities that Spider-Man has right now. He has a full ass list of abilities, bro.
Okay, so I think there's one game that we're forgetting, and you were talking about balance and all that stuff, but let's analyze. Let's bring Smash to the table here for a minute. Smash has
over
now
here.
over 90 characters in it, and some of them play very similar, but some are very different.
that's why Smash is
And-
one of the hardest fighting games
Yeah.
to play.
But it
I think
has
this is
the
what the-
audience.
This
That's
might
why
be what this is
Smash has
going
been
for.
dominated by the same people for years and years and
If
years.
there's one game though that has the audience, it is Smash. Smash has some of the hugest events. The only thing holding it back is Nintendo. You know,
But-
so
hold on though. Hold on. Can we go back to Spider-Man swinging though? Because this is what I meant when I said wonky. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So he was swinging around here, right? He runs into walls, like he's in a swing right now. He's in a swing, and he runs into all the walls. Oh, where is it?
I don't see that. I don't see what you're. Oh, you're talking about all the way back when he they just
Before
started
this,
showing him.
before this. Right? Okay. Yes. Look at this. This is the kind of a mechanic I worry about in a game like this.
No, he
stuck
was.
to the wall. That's
You see this?
Spider-Man. But that's Spider-Man though. Like, what do you expect?
And when I see Spider-Man, I want to see smooth cinematic swinging. To me, it feels weird.
No, he was kind of running on the wall a little bit. They
No,
just
no,
jumped
he
off.
was similar to the
he was
Spider-Man
in the
games
swing
to me.
animation. He was in
No.
the swing animation.
Watch.
That
He don't
looked
run.
weird.
Nope, he don't run.
That
He don't
looked
run.
weird.
He's
That
in the
looked-
swing
wait.
animation,
That-
hitting the wall.
Carlos, that gameplay looks almost identical to the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, he spin.
That's what I'm
He did a
saying.
spin. He
That's
did a
what I'm-
spin. Look,
No, that's I get it, but he's not running on the wall. He's not doing that. He's not.
probably they didn't want to.
It looked like the guy just turned the camera.
Yeah,
and
they didn't want to.
switched
They
the
didn't. It
direction.
looked like they just didn't want to swim.
Yeah.
Run on the wall.
Yeah, he looks like he
Listen,
could have
Listen,
sat
if I-
to the wall if he wanted to.
the one complaint I ever had about the Spider-Man games from time to time is like when you're swinging and your character model will just like hit the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing
And-
combo.
And that to me is a wonky mechanic.
Oh, whoa! Stop! This man can launch multiple people in the air with off of a regular move.
Do they have
Is that a-
cooldowns
was
in
that
this
a-
game?
Was that
They
a
do.
web?
Moves have cooldowns,
Is
right?
that a web he did? Like, is that a webs that?
He has
That
a
looks
web move called "Come Here." I guess you can either swip over to you or you swip.
I mean,
Or
the
put
way
them in.
he is literally working the same way the Spider-Man games are.
Yeah, it's just like the
this is
Spider-Man
almost
game,
the
but
same.
he has a lot
Yeah.
of things to his kit though, bro. Like, look how many abilities he got.
No, the bottom two are passive.
You know, I really,
the Spider
I-
Sense are
I
passive. Yeah,
really,
Wall
really
crawl.
appreciate this.
Wall
I
crawl
would-
is passive as well, so that means he could just. So you see, he does have wall crawl, Heartless.
So Okay. So listen,
right there.
if this game has a heightened level of complexity per character, that means it will incentivize people to stick with their mains more. That's one
More.
effect that we will get out of this.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
even more on board with that
Yeah, because
because
they're
I
gonna want to
know
learn the character.
I'm gonna
Big
be main in Spider-Man, guaranteed, guaranteed. If there's any, that Spider-Man's
bro.
my guy.
I'm gonna be the guy that said I'm the Street Fighter equivalent of the guy that says he's gonna wait for Akuma. I'm waiting for Wolverine.
hmm Yeah, I mean, let's go. For me, Spider-Man, hands down. They would have to be. I don't even know another character they could release that I would
Let me
want.
see.
This is only 4 abilities here. You have a right click, an E, a shift, a
Yo,
Q.
Hella turns into a giant.
This
Let's
is just like
talk about
Overwatch.
this for a
This
second.
is just like Overwatch here.
Yeah, but let's talk about this for a second. Hella turns into a giant pretty much. With every character she kills, she grows a little bit more.
It looks so cool. I mean, and another thing
That was
is
first person, too.
it's been well
Yeah.
documented that I've complained about FPS games from an esports
Oh, she can turn
perspective.
into a
Where they're
raven.
really hard to watch from a spectator because you don't know what's going on. You only get the first person perspective of one person.
But this
And
is gonna be for the
and
people who
this is
understand the
third
game.
person. Yeah, this is a third person perspective, which is
What the fuck?
great
Nah,
perspective.
Jerm, in Overwatch, as an esport, they have a third person spectator camera. So you get to experience Overwatch League in third person, but
I've seen
with
that,
12
but when
people
they
on the
zoom in on
field.
one person, though, it's only one perspective.
I know, but that's when they're highlighting something. But with 12 people on the field, it's gonna be complete and utter mess. Don't even think about this game as like an esports. You're not gonna be seeing no Marvel Rivals League. You're just not going to. I don't think so.
You think so?
I think it's been proven with
I'm
Overwatch.
gonna say let's fast forward 3 years, and I will challenge that question. But it depends on how the game does, of course. But
She
I'm
has
gonna
3
say
passives, bro. This is a team up ability. She has a team up ability with Loki.
Yeah, I think the Overwatch League kind of proved that it's kind of tough
Hold
to
up.
keep up with a game that has 12 people on the screen.
and I
Hold up,
personally
hold up.
like how
Did you
the
just
fact
bring
that
back
if I have
someone
a
from the
skin
dead?
on, it's because it's third person like this. If I buy a skin, I get to see the skin. In Overwatch, it's first person. The only person that gets to benefit from my skin is some person I'm playing against. So
Her name is Hella. Yeah, she's gonna be hella fun, bro.
Oh yeah,
Get it?
That's what
Get
you
it? No. So when Hela lands a final hit in defeating an enemy, she can instantly resurrect Loki in the respawn phase. If Loki is alive, a Nostrian crow will fly to him,
So she can
granting
only
him
res
blue
Loki.
armor.
So they
It
have
looks like it.
synergies from character to character like that too?
Yeah,
That's
they do. They do. That's what I said. Bruce Banner and Hulk and Iron Man have that synergy. So every character has
That's
synergy.
interesting. Let's
Groot and Rocket will have synergy. They didn't show me what synergy who
if
Spider-Man has synergy with.
anybody remembers Marvel Alliance back in the day, I mean, it's
Oh,
a
so
different
not
game,
every character
but
has synergy.
I love how it has synergies like that. If anyone remembers Marvel Alliance, where you picked
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
Fantastic Four characters, you got a certain synergy like that, or if you picked just all the villains, you got a certain synergy. I think
But
that's
Spider-Man
cool.
doesn't have one.
we're
Wait,
gonna
wait.
try
Not
this.
yet.
Spider-Man
We're gonna
doesn't
try
have one.
this.
Yeah, it doesn't have one yet.
We're gonna
Probably
try this,
like
Penny
when
Parker.
Venom
Penny
or-
Parker.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I bet you he would have a synergy with Venom if Venom ever comes in.
Venom is gonna be in there. Venom was on the list. Venom and Penny Parker is on the list. So we got a few people from the Spider Society here.
And
Black Panther looks cool. Bro, I feel
and
like this is taking up a lot of the podcast, but I really don't
sorry,
care. I
guys.
actually
But
love this. No, I'm not apologizing. I love
I am
this shit.
sold. I am literally sold on the presentation in this game. It looks so fun. Another thing I want to say about that
Black
is
Panther looks
this game, it
crazy,
has its
bro.
own unique look to it. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like comics. It doesn't look like the movies. It doesn't look like any other
He
game.
has a wall run.
Nah.
Let's
Let's not be.
He has a wall run.
They're not
It
doing
has-
anything innovative in terms of the
Well, I'm
graphics.
talking about Marvel only. Marvel, just Marvel. It has its own look to it from a Marvel property perspective. This is a very unique Marvel look.
Vibranium
Marvel
claw.
anything, and I think it clearly. You look at that, you instantly know that's Marvel Rivals. Instantly, just from the way the characters look and the art style. I am really digging this.
As far as the combat
So
goes,
does
I
not
feel like
everybody have a jump?
I think
And I
everybody has a
respect
jump.
everything you were saying, Harless, about the balance and the chaos and all that thing. But hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for it because I really would like to see a little bit more variety. That's why I don't
I
watch
think
Overwatch.
this might
It's
be
so
my main,
same
guys.
boring.
This dude
Huh?
might be my main. I'm not going front.
If you've watched one Overwatch match, you've literally watched them all because they always play out the same. You know,
This could end up devolving into that very easily.
it could,
Because people,
but
if people go with the best
this
characters in the meta, they're just gonna stick to that
this
character.
has more promise in my eyes than Overwatch does right now because Overwatch is just so boring.
Dude, as soon
in
as
my-
I'm telling you guys, as soon as a group of people figure out how to break this game, the devs are gonna have a huge problem trying to unfold that can of worms.
Deal higher damage when he. Wait a minute. So his damage goes up when his health drops.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
You got that
also,
critical
if
art.
you look at the character list again, you guys, like just the variety of Marvel representation is really impressive here.
Oh, he has.
It's
Ooh.
it's got all the characters you would expect, like the Wolverines and the Magnetos and the Captain Americas and all that. But it's also got a lot of characters that I have personally never heard of, are personally not overly familiar with, or are the people that have fringe fan bases, like the Fantastic Four, like I mentioned.
Mhm.
This game is gonna pop off.
So
It
Magic
really,
has a portal and he can use it. Okay. Magic
yeah,
looks
like Z
crazy.
Magic. She's really a she's a cult favorite in Marvel. Anyone who knows that character would love that she's in this game.
Yeah, this is
So
Colossus's sister.
yeah,
She was once imbued with the Phoenix Force. A shard
I
of the Phoenix Force,
yeah,
should say. This is during the Avengers versus X-Men.
she's like probably that C-level tier Marvel popularity. She has very passionate fans, and they're gonna be here for her. She's so cool.
She was a leader of the X-Men at one point.
Yeah.
Not the New Mutants. Sorry, leader of New Mutants. Just give me my sniper and I'm good. I don't know who's gonna be a sniper in here though,
Probably
Uncle Shank. I'm gonna be
Punisher,
real.
maybe. I don't know.
No, Punisher is just a. He's gonna be traditional shooter type.
Let me look at the
Oh, she
list
has a
here.
transformation.
Punisher
Oh,
is gonna be Soldier 76.
pretty
And
much.
what about Scarlett Johansson's character in the Avengers? She could be a
Black
sniper.
Widow?
Could
Black
she be a
Widow? I
sniper?
don't know.
Yeah,
She probably would
Scarlet
be
Witch
like.
is Scarlet
She
Witch is
probably
on
be
the
like.
list here.
Yeah,
Scarlet
but
Witch.
no, not Scarlet Witch. Black Widow. He's talking about
Oh,
Black
Black Widow.
Widow.
Yeah, she's on the list here too. Yeah.
Yeah, but she might be some kind of like. She's a spy, so I'm thinking more of like. Um,
I'm curious what Doctor
assassin.
Strange is going to be
He's
like. Is he going
more
to be like
assassins.
Symmetra? Is
Assa-
Is
he's
Captain
gonna be a
America in this
shield.
game?
Captain America is gonna be in the game, but
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
one of
coming
the
right now.
data
What about
mine.
Thanos?
No,
he-
Thanos is
not-
not
There's
gonna
no
be in it.
villains?
I
Not
don't
on the
think Thanos.
data mine. Not on the
No,
data mine.
he didn't come
The,
up.
the characters that
Oh,
got leaked from the data mine allegedly are they're going to be in the game allegedly are Ultron, Thor, Thing, Schoolgirl, Psylocke, Mr. Fantastic, Moon Knight, Iron Fist, Visible Woman, Iron
Mhm.
Torch, Hawkeye, which he might be the sniper. We've got the
Hawkeye is gonna no, he's gonna be Hanzo.
He's gonna be Hanzo, yeah. Jeff the Land Shark, Cloak and
Did this
Dagger,
bitch just
Captain
summon a demon?
America, Blade,
Hold
Black
up,
Widow, and Adam Warlock. Those are the leaked ones from the data mine.
she
And
just
then
summoned a demon.
And another thing, I think Overwatch had issues with
Adam will
melee
be the
combat.
sniper. It had an issue with melee combat. You said?
I think melee combat, and this game has a lot of melee combat.
I think Overwatch didn't have enough tank and support
So
options for a long time in its early days.
no,
So
this
if they
game
would have
has a lot
added
of DPS.
Yeah, if they
I'll
would have
tell
added
you.
more support and more tank options early on, it would have helped.
See, this is
game.
Doctor Strange. So this is the gameplay for Doctor Strange right now. So Monkey says, I hope I am wrong, but this game looks like a cheap cash grab once again from Marvel. No, I think most people that played the game, Monkey, they're actually really enjoying the game.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that.
I mean, sure, it could be a cash grab with like microtransactions and stuff. We don't know that information yet.
We don't know anything yet until the
There
game
definitely
launches.
will be. This is going to be a live service game with all the microtransactions you could think of.
But the fact
it's
that
gonna have a
is-
season pass for sure.
Can he
The
just fly
fact-
forever? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Oh no, he can't. Oh,
the
wow.
fact that it's free to play, wow, that's gonna be amazing. And
Oh, you can fly. You can fly. It looks like, but you can control it.
Cloak of levitation.
I imagine he must have portals like Symmetra does, right?
Yeah, he
So
has a portal. He has a portal where
yeah,
up to 5 people can go at the same time.
I hope they keep it unlimited,
Not
like they
6
did with
people?
Symmetra at the beginning.
Five. I think it's five because I don't think they count him.
Anybody remember Symmetra in the beginning? She could make the portals anywhere on the map, and then they
Yeah.
made it a range. They made it a range, which basically
See,
made her useless.
that looks like a portal, and you can. Holy snap! So you can move the portal. You saw
Dude,
that,
she could be from across the whole area.
bro? That's insane, bro.
Dude, that is so
Bro.
cool.
That's insane. I'm sorry. That's nuts.
That is
This is gonna
nuts.
get nerfed. Watch, this is gonna get nerfed.
Yeah, they're gonna put a limit on it, how far you can go.
Or
Now
maybe
imagine you're porting into the sky behind your opponent.
another way to nerf something like that would be is it only lasts for maybe like 2 seconds, so if you don't get there in time, you miss out.
This is insane, bro. What
This
is
is
this?
a
It's a
dude.
shield. That's a shield.
What do we guys think? Could this be game of the year? If this
No.
No,
really
no.
wait, it's
No,
probably not
no.
coming out this year because it's only an alpha. But when it
No,
comes
it's
out,
in alpha, which means it's gonna come out this year sometime soon. It's alpha. So alpha is usually the last thing a company drops before they release a game.
I really like it.
They're saying that the portal is an alt.
The portal is an alt. It didn't look like one.
Yeah, look.
Gamma Mal. Wait, he has one with. Oh, he has a thing with Hulk too.
So,
Okay.
question to chat members of the chat: what's the character you want to see in this game? For me,
Is the portal
Spider-Man.
Q?
Anything
I'm
Spider-Man
not sure.
related,
Also,
I'm all about the Spider-Man. But what characters would you want to see represented in this game? Are you villains? Do you want to see more villains? Do you want to see more?
Villains for sure. Villains for
I'd
sure.
love to see some more villains for sure. Magneto. I know Magneto's in here.
Magneto's? Yeah.
Oh,
I've
so there
seen a
is
few
some
gameplay.
villains.
I've seen some gameplay for Magneto. He looks cool.
Yeah. For me,
Friendly shoulder. So he has.
Spider-Man. I love Mysterio, but he seems kind of not likely to be in a game like this, at least for a while.
Mhm. Yeah, Salak is gonna be there as well, reportedly, allegedly.
Gambit, Rogue.
Gambit would be
That's the
dope.
character that I
Well,
would
what
want.
would Rogue do? Rogue would be sucking people off. She'll be taking
Yeah.
their
Hey,
abilities and shit.
yo.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
This is
Oh
a
my
family
god.
friendly
Y'all
podcast.
said this is free to play?
Yeah, it is free to play.
It is free to play.
Doctor Doom. Yes,
Doom,
Bello. Doctor Doom could be a very interesting addition.
Rogue and Spider-Man would be the two.
See,
that
Magneto's looking kind of clean too. Why does he have that ring on the back? I don't know what that is.
All right. We've talked about this game a lot.
We dedicated a lot of time to this, but it's because the game is so interesting, and I feel like
Oh yeah,
we're trying to figure out like what this is exactly.
And I think it brings it back to the third person perspective. There's just a lot for your eyes to take in and a lot for your eyes to enjoy. Overwatch does not have that because you only see the player's hands and the gun. There's a lot to.
Hold on, wait. Uncle Shank says if Doctor Doom doesn't get a foot dive, I'm not playing.
And don't forget hidden missiles. Gotta have hidden missiles.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, if you guys aren't a fan of the Marvel vs. Capcom game, you won't get that reference. But yes,
yeah.
I totally
hidden missiles is a must. But I like
exactly like Spellbreak. I don't know what Spellbreak is.
Yeah, the third person perspective is really going to help this game along because there's just so much for you to consume, so much for your eye candy, and the when you use the attacks, they feel good, they feel strong, they're very impactful, they grab your attention, you feel good doing this.
Did he just summon a sword because Wanda's next to him? He did.
Penny Parker, I'm sure it's going to be a Diva ripoff.
Who is
Looks
this?
like it. She's a alternate spider person, alternate reality spider person. Yeah, she's definitely a diva.
But like I was hinting at earlier, like Overwatch has pretty much stood in this realm of this hero-based team class shooter unopposed for a long time. There hasn't been anyone that seriously is going to challenge it for its player base, so the players have stuck around. And this is the first real big contender that take those players away.
Right.
I can't think of anything off the top of the brain that has challenged Overwatch or even come close. So yeah, this game is gonna go crazy. Even if you take 25% of the player base that Overwatch has, this game will still survive. So that's where this game's probably gonna try to live. So the future for this game looks really bright. It really does.
Explosions are bright too.
Please don't be swayed by Germ's words. He hates Overwatch.
So the one thing really there I kind of disagree with what you said was you said Overwatch doesn't have stuff. You was like Overwatch, like you were like, oh, it's third person. There's a lot of stuff on the screen. Overwatch has a lot of stuff on the screen. At one point, Overwatch had 4 shields on the screen.
But I'm saying not like this. Not like this, though. I mean, not to this level, is what I'm saying. Because, okay, so you're watching a match of Overwatch. And granted, it has a spectator feature you mentioned earlier.
Where
But
are we watching the match? Are we watching it in Overwatch?
But if I'm just watching somebody stream and they're playing Soldier 76,
yeah,
all I'm seeing the whole time is that it's him holding that gun with his hands, and he's moving around so fast. I don't.
But isn't that the
really
same thing with
see
Call of Duty though?
Yeah, and that everything I'm seeing also applies to all first person games. Not just this one.
All right, guys. Okay.
No, we gonna beef
right.
about this.
Well, no, we're gonna continue the discussion probably in some other episodes, but
yeah,
good lord,
there will be a lot of news that comes.
We've dedicated so much time to this game already, but I think it's because
why does
we all
Punisher
agree
look
that
like
this
Gold
game.
Lewis?
Who?
Bro, why does Punisher look like Gold Lewis? They made him a big body, bro.
Yeah, he's big, bro. This dude is brolic, bro.
He's bigger than Gaio.
Punisher doesn't miss arm day.
He does not miss.
He doesn't miss any day, bro. Look at this man. This man looks like the Hulk.
But first of all, before I know we're moving on,
I like the character. Wow, he has a burst weapon, and
I just want to say the boldness of this developer. You can tell they are directly challenging Overwatch.
By the way, for those who don't know, these are the guys that brought. Holy crap cakes! What? Wait, what?
Okay, so my question is, who is he shooting? Are those are not characters you go up against?
No, they're just it's just demonstration. They're just showing you the
dummies. Okay,
they're just training bots. Yeah,
bro. No, Punisher looks like he's definitely gonna be a traditional shooter for real.
Mm-hmm. He's like, what's that new guy? Bastion.
What in the bro?
Who the dwarf looking guy? He makes a turret, right?
Yeah, he's a combination between Torbjorn and
Bastion.
Soldier.
No. He's a combination between Soldier and Bastion. He goes.
I agree. See, Bello.
Yeah.
It seems like me and Bello always agree on a lot of things, and we both agree this is fire.
Bello is gonna hype up any game with Spider-Man swinging. So
yeah, pretty much. Anything with Spider-Man is an A plus. Is an A plus for Bello. Any game.
If I eventually do make it to one of the squad nights,
this is so dope. No, he has synergy.
Danny's got another point. With all these flying and swinging characters, it's going to be tough to play on console. We are going to have a similar situation where the console version of the game is so drastically different than the PC version of the game, just like Overwatch. And that's why you don't get to play ranked in cross.
I respect that.
I think this is
I respect that, but also there's always like for a competitive edge, there's always an optimal way to play in all
infinite
games.
punishment. What is infinite punishment?
Just like it'll just be the way.
Wait, infinite punishment. Rocky Raccoon throws an ammo overload device in the. Wait a minute. Upon entering the device range, the Punisher receives the buff and infinite ammo and faster firing. What? So these guys can have infinite ammo. Him and Rocket.
At least they don't get aim assist. Yeah, no. So I don't know if you know this, but okay. So even if what I'm about to say wasn't true, Overwatch on console and PC would still feel very different. But what I'm about to say is true. I remember at one point the console version of Overwatch was people were getting so many complaints. The devs were getting so many complaints that they actually increased the bullet size on Ana's bullet only for the console version, but it stayed the same size on the PC version.
Look at that Storm design. She looks
Storm
more.
design
She
is
that is the most badass Storm I've ever seen in my life. She looks so.
damn.
All right, are we moving on? Like this
Well,
is
no. This is
yeah,
very interesting, bro. This
this is
game.
a very
Look,
interesting
but look at
game.
Storm's kit though. Look at Storm's kit. She doesn't have much. She doesn't have much. Like, look at her kit. She only has like
What style are we thinking she's gonna be? Is she gonna be like
she's
what's
a
that
DPS.
one?
She's a DPS character.
The witch character in Overwatch, the one that can heal you and
Oh,
hurt you. I forget
you're
her
talking
name.
about Moira.
Yeah, no, that's probably gonna be Scarlet Witch, but
Mm.
she seems
Weather control, goddess boost, bolt rush. She has suggested combos. I don't know what the suggested combo means though.
is there a character in Overwatch that is like this? That's like elemental based? I don't think
No,
there is. No.
not
So
to my knowledge.
this is fresh.
But yeah, the game is very interesting looking. I'm not gonna front. Like this game is taking up so much of the
But
podcast so far.
I do understand what Heartless is saying around the movement in the game. Where there's so many flying characters in this game. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be
Yeah.
very.
The game looks very interesting though, guys. Like she looks like Zen.
Uh,
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I can see it.
think about like the first maybe 6 months of this game because there's so many characters and there's so much to like dive into. It's gonna be crazy while people are trying to optimize
Storm
and
is gonna be OP. Remember this message. Probably. I think
the
Wanda's gonna also be with OP, bro. Look at Scarlet
I think
Witch.
from what we saw about the Hulk earlier too, he could be a problem, but
Hmm.
who knows?
I almost doubt the Hulk is going to be a problem. I feel like his hitbox is going to be so big that
But he might have more health.
he definitely will.
Mm.
So who's gonna be like the Rhinestone, the hammer guy?
Is there roles
Reinhardt.
in this game?
Yeah, there are roles. That's why I said there's shield, there's attack, and I think there's another one. I don't remember
Yeah.
what it's called. Shield, attack, and I think support.
But hey, six
So
v six. I'm
so
excited.
shield is basically the tank. There's shield, support, and DPS. Yeah, no, so Dark Seal.
Let's just hope this does not go. I'm gonna be the one that does it this week. Let's hope it doesn't go the Suicide Squad route and too much.
Nah, a lot of I feel like people are gonna like this game, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot to learn, and I feel like that in itself is gonna bring people to want to learn the game.
I swear this game seems one of the most promising game launches in quite a while. Like, can we, at least for me, I can't think of a game that I've been this hyped up about in a
I
long
think
time.
there's a character for everyone here. Now let's think about that for a second, though. There's a character for everyone here. Like I just said, Punisher looks like someone I could just pick up and play. Like because I'm the kind of person that likes. I'm a DPS guy, so Punisher seems like probably the easiest choice to get into to play. You get what I'm saying in the game?
I've always been a support preferrer in
Mhm.
games like these, so I'm hoping Spider-Man's a support. He looks like he is.
I think
So
if I'm not mistaken.
he looks like he's gonna be like
No,
that
he's
guy,
not
the
support. He's
frog
not
guy.
support. He's DPS. Spider-Man is
That's
DPS.
disappointing. That's disappointing. But I will always prefer support. So
Mhm.
I've always preferred support anything in any kind of RPG. So I would pick. I would lean towards support classes. Probably Scarlet Witch. Probably.
Marvel Heroes 2016. Remember that game? No, I don't.
I look at this
It was
roster
trash.
and
Yeah.
I look at this roster and I think Marvel 3 because it's just such variety and such I love it. I love it. And
Okay.
Fantastic Four characters have my attention too.
But yeah, guys. Let's move on. I don't know how much we can move
Wow.
on to
That
after
was
this. But
how we probably talked about that game alone for an hour and a half at least. That was impressive.
Man said it was impressive.
Like that, I'm really
I
excited.
feel like that's
about
the longest we've dedicated time to a game on this
Mhm.
podcast since we've been doing this podcast. bro.
Until Street Fighter Season 2 comes out. I'm sure we'll all,
Mhm. So there's also this whole discussion about Joker coming to multiverses. I don't know if you guys want to really get into it, but I can remember Mark Hamill making the statement saying he wouldn't return to
He
voice
he,
the Joker because
he said
Kevin
it
Conroy
publicly.
passed
He
away.
said it
Yeah,
publicly on a talk show. If I remember right, it
This
right.
was
is probably recorded before that.
it was
You
Jimmy
think so?
Fallon.
This could have
He
been
said it on.
recorded a whole
Yeah,
year and a half, 2 years ago,
I
probably.
remember it was on Jimmy Fallon. The news had came out about him passing very
Hmm.
recently because I think the Flash movie was coming out,
Or he could have
and
signed the contract already.
they were asking about if
Whichever.
he was going to make an appearance in the movie, and he said specifically in that interview, if Kevin's not doing it, I will no
Hmm.
longer do Joker. And he
Yeah.
said and he had already passed by that time.
But
So
also, Kevin Conroy is still the Batman in this game, though. In
yeah,
multiverses, he is the voice of Batman in here. So I don't know how that.
It's got to be
Unless
one
they
of
have.
those three reasons. Either he has no problem doing it because Kevin Conroy is the voice, either he
Here.
already
Mhm.
contractually agreed to it, or either
Mhm.
Kevin Conroy had not passed before he had done this. It's got to be
Yeah,
possible.
the
or a
question is, since the
combination
game
of
had the
all of
year
them.
hiatus, maybe
Be-
he is already
Yeah,
obligated. Yeah.
yeah, it's probably a combination of all of what Heartless just mentioned as well too.
But let's talk about the design for a minute. This Joker looks disgusting. Like, I don't know if you're
It
able to.
just looks
So
cartoon. He looks
yeah,
overly cartoony. It
it
looks like
fits
a
the
Rick and Morty.
aesthetic
He
of
looks
multiverse.
like a Rick and Morty
He
Joker.
looks like he's almost not a bad guy.
Yeah, he looks almost funny.
Like he's
He looks
confused.
ugly. I don't like this look
Like a
for.
Disney Pixar movie about him
Yes,
thinking he's a
yes,
bad guy, but
yes.
he's
I can
not.
agree.
I don't like it. And plus, first of all, like I'm Joker fatigue. Like seriously, is that all you
No,
have?
it's the
WB is
first.
Joker, the
Again,
Batman. You know,
right, right. In Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League, he was the first one they dropped. Now he's about to be for the new launch of
I just,
multiverses.
I just at this point, I want to know who is asking for Joker to be in everything. We've
Society,
already gotten so many great
DC,
portrayals of
society,
Joker.
Warner
society,
Brothers.
almost romanticizing mental health issues.
You know, this man's trying to get deep on this freaking
If
video game
that was
podcast. Listen to
true,
Heartless.
if it were true in that case, Heartless, that would be Harley Quinn. That's Harley Quinn's thing, is surviving from mental health and all that stuff.
Joker
And
is too. Joker is not well, bro. Like, think
Joker,
about it. He's not
Joker is
mentally
just
there. He's not all there.
Joker is just he's just a killer. He's just a psychotic killer.
I mean,
There's
think about it. Cash said Harlow's trying to get deep with us, but if you think about it, look at everyone's reception to the new Joker movies, and those movies are way more kind of about his mental health
well,
issues.
that's what I was leaning into, Harless. Like, if you want like really nuanced Joker content, go watch that. Go look for it there.
No,
But
but I think they're seeing the success of Joker overall as a character and the success of Harley Quinn, and they're like, "Yo, let's double down on this. Let's get Joker and everything."
and just disappointing for me is like there's been other characters that people may have been asking for years that are looking for game representation. Characters like Shazam, characters like Green Arrow, or characters like those that are looking for representation and they haven't gotten it in who knows how long. Martian Manhunter, characters like that.
I've yet to see Martial Man. Bro, he's not even in Suicide Squad Killer Justice League.
Exactly.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen Aquaman.
Because he'd
Who
kill
else?
everybody. Because he would kill everybody. He's OP.
Exactly. So there are fan bases that need representation that haven't been getting it.
But they always go back to the same like stale like comic book characters. Joker, Batman. Like, bro, we need to see. They have deeper.
In the
But you know what it is?
world, in the business world, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Well, this is the
It's
opposite of what
broken.
that Marvel Rivals was doing. It has quite a variety of different. If you're a fan of anything Marvel, there's something here for you in that roster. WB's taking the opposite. They're just going with this greatest hits album of characters, and I'm feeling a little burnt out from it.
Mm-hmm.
And missed opportunity is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But in other news, let's move on from that because
honestly, I don't want to hear WB on this podcast anymore until they do something good.
Bro, y'all made me bring up Suicide Squad Killer Justice League again. So listen, we're moving on. Nintendo is committed to physical game sales, which is very, I guess, refreshing to hear because the direction where video games are going right now is all digital. So it's kind of nice, refreshing to hear a company kind of like respecting that,
Yeah, Gamerand is reporting that Nintendo's committed. The president, this is not just anyone who said it. The president, Shintaro Furukawa said that they're committed to maintaining.
Shintaro
Yeah,
Furukawa.
yeah,
I
they're
said it
committed to
correctly right
physical
there.
media.
I was practicing the name because I did a
So
recording.
you practice that, but not the intro.
Yeah. I wanted to be accurate for a video, bro.
One thing Nintendo definitely gets is the importance of collectibles.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
collectibles means physicals, and they know this because Nintendo owns Pokemon Company.
bro.
Well,
They
if you look,
haven't done discs in such a long time. Heartless. Also, think about that. They're still using cartridges, bro.
Yeah.
well, that brings up an interesting question. Is this actual? Is this good? It makes me also a little scary that if they're sticking with cartridges, are their games going to stay at the same, 30 FPS or whatever they've been putting out? It's
But think,
scary, right?
but look
'Cause I
at,
was hoping for more.
but no. So I'm thinking about it from like a data standpoint. Technology has advanced to the point where I think they can maintain this and put a lot of other. I think they can still go up to like 60 FPS. I feel like they could with a cartridge. I really feel like they could.
I don't disagree. And I also like, because I notice Nintendo does this a lot. They make like licensed versions of like the packs and stuff to carry the cartridges in. That's just
Mhm.
money for them.
Yeah,
It just puts
but
money in their pocket. So
not
it's good.
only that, not only that. Think about a couple of years ago. You probably wouldn't have imagined playing friggin' Zelda Breath of the Wild on a cartridge.
What's the problem with the cartridge? I don't like what's the
No,
Oh,
issue.
it's just
I
I
think
just
Jeremy's talking about it like from a data standpoint.
yeah, like we've been trying to push Nintendo to get into this HD era for a while, of like high graphical quality games. And I just wondered, is this point that they're never gonna never gonna
Yeah,
reach
it's the
that?
device. It's the device, no soul.
Yeah.
So is it the cart that holds it back in terms of technology?
Well, that's the question I'm posing. It's like, does this point towards that? Yeah, I hope not, because that's where my mind went when I first read this. I was like, does this kill all thoughts of any like God of War's
I think the cart
quality?
No,
just
it's
holds
the device. It's
information.
the device itself. It's the switch itself needs to be able to push the
Yeah,
the the
yeah.
graphical
This just holds
fidelity.
information. And
Yeah.
if that information is saying that the game is going to run off its engine at 60 frames a second, then the Switch will try to do that, if I
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, this article does also point out that they are not abandoning digital sales as well.
Yeah, in
Digital
the
sales is
waiting room,
still
no
going to be a
soul.
big part
We
of what
can't
they're
go on the
doing.
waiting room with this one because of the
Oh,
thing. We
never
might
mind.
have
There's
to
no waiting
invite him.
room. Love you.
We would have to invite him, like
Yeah, they are still committed to digital sales, but they are not abandoning physical, which is cool. And as a person that's a Nintendo, they know their audience. They know they like to collect things, and like Harley said, and it's the right decision for them specifically. And Nintendo's a special beast in the game world, I think.
hmm
Hmm.
we're still figuring out the kinks for this new setup, guys. So we might not. I don't want to say we're not gonna do um. What was I gonna say? Heartless, please help me out. The waiting room, we're still gonna do
Well,
waiting rooms. We
we're
just
gonna
need to figure out how it would work within
yeah,
the
we'll add it to the
confines
list.
of this app. I said
We'll
I
add,
mean,
confines. I
we
used
can
a
send
big
somebody
word,
the
guys.
link to this.
we'll add it
Yeah,
to
And
the
then if they
list.
have a camera, we could even see them.
we
Yeah.
can even see them. Yeah.
We'll add it to the
Pretty
list of
pretty.
things to figure out for sure.
hmm
Um, but
But
if
yeah,
you want to type in your comment, no so a quick summary of what you mean. Nintendo doesn't need me to be 60 FPS
I
because the
agree with
stuff
that.
they're producing is meant for the Portal, and that is I don't disagree with that, and that's why I actually play Nintendo games is because they are very easy on the eyes like that. You don't have a lot. You don't have to invest. You don't have to invest a lot of quality to enjoy them. That's why I like them. But
it's
there's gonna be
really
a point where Nintendo is gonna have to go there. I feel like they're kind of holding off the inevitable. Eventually,
mhm.
they're gonna have to at some
Yeah,
point, right?
as bro, as technology moves forward, I think they are going to. The thing is, I feel like they're catering more to a portable audience than they are a home console audience. I know it's a hybrid, but that's just it's a portable game that gives you the ability to play on a TV. If you get what I'm saying, I feel like
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what it
let's
is.
let's fast
It's
forward
more of a
25
portable.
years. Let's fast forward 25 years, or maybe 15 years. When is the point where that's not enough? You know what I'm saying? Like what Harless said, like I've played my platformers, I'm done with them, I'm ready to move on. Like when does the entire industry as a whole feel that, for
Mhm.
that graphical quality of game,
So Reaper just hopped in, and this is what Reaper said: their portable audience was always more profitable after the Game Boy took off. So that's who they're gonna cater to.
Hmm? And I just wonder, when is there going to be a point where that's no longer enough, is what I'm saying.
I don't think it's ever gonna be that case because think about it again. Nintendo's a family console. A lot of people, and it's also you're not getting a Xbox over a Nintendo Switch. Most people have both.
Well, Nintendo's also made huge amounts of money on remaking old classic games, a
Mhm.
lot for whatever the modern hardware is. When is there going to be a point where that well runs dry? You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not pushing the graphical quality to keep pushing, more games out at higher resolutions and stuff, when is there a point where that just is over for you?
Mm.
That's I wonder. I mean, Nintendo's smart. They know what they're doing. I'm not gonna say they're on the wrong path, because they clearly are. But that's the question I have for them in the future. Is you can't just keep remaking the same games over and over and over again like that, and maintain the public graces. People don't want to buy the same game again and again and again, unless if it's a huge quality improvement like Resident Evil 4 remake was,
Mhm.
something like that is what I'm saying.
One of the games that they like, I feel like Nintendo. I don't know, bro. Nintendo's not losing their fan base. I don't think they're ever gonna lose their fan base.
They have too many iconic characters.
Too many, way too many, bro. And
Well,
IP,
as
not only
they,
characters, IP. They have too many like recognizable
it
IP.
still
Pokemon.
points to reason, like how many times though can you resell the same experience before people are sick of it?
Well, the thing is,
Think
they're
about
always
Street
selling to
Fighter 2.
kids, and
Think
that
about
and that generation is always changing. Every 5 years, new
That's
batch
why
of
they can
kids.
constantly make the same game over and over again. It's not for us. It's not for the guys that played them when they were kids. It's for the new generation of kids, new
Think about
generation of
Yeah,
Street Fighter
gamers.
2. Think about Street Fighter 2. So Street Fighter
Mhm.
2 was to come out again. Would people buy it? We've already rebought that game like 10 other times. There's
But we
already
can't.
4 other platforms I can play it on. I
But
don't
we
need
can't
another one,
come.
you know?
I don't think we can compare it to this. What Nintendo does though, because
Yeah.
like I said, it's a different. It's a different generation, right? They can get away with it because they're trying to appeal to a younger crowd. There's
Mhm.
always a younger crowd to appeal
so
to
it's a
with
new
Nintendo.
younger audience.
A new
I
younger
I
audience.
don't disagree, but I just, again, I put that question out there, is when will it not be? When will that well dry up for Nintendo, if it ever does?
When we stop having babies,
Yeah. But that's a riveting question, I feel,
Mhm.
about the future of Nintendo, because
look, Nintendo's game plan is brilliant. They market to 4 to 10 year olds, and then those kids build their nostalgia around Nintendo, and they grow up purchasing Nintendo products for a lifetime. But
I
they're
think
still
Look
they're
at us.
always
actually
marketing towards the
marketing.
kids.
I
Look at
actually
us.
think they're marketing to millennials, Heartless, because we grew up playing their games and we want to pass along those iconic characters and experiences to the next generation. So they got those people on lock. You know what I mean? They got
Mhm.
those, and that's who they're. So if, as an adult, if I'm looking to buy a gaming experience for my kid, who am I gonna go to? I'm gonna go to the Nintendo line of products.
Yeah, because we know we can have. They can have a lot of replay. Not even
This new
replayability. They have a
generation
lot
is
of
getting their kids PCs though.
Switches too. I feel like a lot of kids are getting like. Think about Switch is still one of the highest
You
selling
have
It's
to
the
consoles.
highest
acknowledge,
selling
regardless,
console.
PC is
Yeah,
not entry level gaming. It is not entry level
it's
gaming.
not. It's definitely not.
It-
It's
It's
so,
a console
becoming
is.
more and more popular.
but it's
Believe
not
it or
It,
entry
not.
level
but it's
gaming though.
still not entry level. I get what
Like
Jerk saying.
there are discerning children that'll appreciate it,
Hades
but for
says
the most
spoiled
part,
kids get PCs.
I'm
exactly.
seeing it.
Exactly.
I'm seeing it. These little kids nowadays got PCs better than mine. I'm like, what?
Because they
Yeah,
bought a
but their parents can afford to get it.
yeah, because they got a pre-built that their parents,
Mhm.
got for them. It's like, but it's still that's their foot in the door. But the maintenance is gonna come with that. The trying to get your games to run, all these other things that come along with it, they may not be ready for.
Optimization,
Their
all that
parents
stuff.
may not even know about it,
Right.
And
I think it's a console is gonna always be there because it's a good introduction to the world of video games. And then if you want to
Mhm.
pursue it, that's
I'm
when
saying
you say,
PCs
you
are
know
entry
what?
level because they get them as school work machines, but that integrated Intel GPU can still run Minecraft and Roblox.
Well, that's a good
Mhm.
point. That's a great point, actually. That's a
We're
great
starting to
point.
see this more and more.
That's a
Yeah,
great point. That's a great point. That's a great point.
it is. It is a very good point.
But I still stand by. I think Nintendo as a
For
whole though
sure.
is
For
still
sure.
it's much more entry
For
level
sure.
from
People
just like
are
here.
always thinking, let me get that Nintendo for my kid.
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
here's a Nintendo. Stop bothering me. You know what I mean? Kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah. Because I think we all have those nostalgic memories as children with our
Bro,
Super Nintendo,
Nintendo's been the first console
GameCube.
for a lot of people, bro. A lot of generations, bro.
And I would love personally to see a franchise like, say, Metroid, for example. We were talking about them a few weeks back. Really push to like high graphic fidelity gaming. I would really, franchises like those, I would like to see really get pushed far.
Mhm.
Considering since it's in space, think about like was it what's that Starfield experience, but Metroid. That would be really really cool. I think that would be. I'm not saying Nintendo should do it for all their franchises, but there's certain select ones that would just be so great in high fidelity.
What was I saying? So, in other unsavory news, I only laugh because this is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry, pardon my French, Chad, but um,
First of all,
EA,
before you go, that cash, anyone, please sit down. Make sure there's no breakable objects near you. We don't want anyone getting hurt with the news that
yo,
the
if
boss
you
is
guys
dropping.
don't have your eyes and ears to like the gaming news, EA wants to basically put ads into video games. Your $60 purchase, sometimes
So,
even higher. They want to put ads in games. I'm trying
so
to figure out how that's gonna look. Is that like, is it gonna be intrusive or is it gonna come up as a pop-up? But either way, I think it's stupid. It's so stupid
So
that
in
it's
other news, EA is still a scrummy company.
pretty
In
much.
other news.
Yo, I
What a
can't even support what you
surprise.
just
Yeah.
said,
What a surprise. EA is still a trashy company. What a
right?
surprise.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
For
Heartless,
I
give
have
me
an
your
allergic
opinions
reaction.
here. I need
Bro,
Mhm.
if the ads are gonna eh, like I said this before off stream. If I'm strolling through a city, like it's a legit city and they have Coca-Cola billboards, I don't care.
Mhm.
If the game has genuine loading screens and there's going to be ads on it, I don't care. If the game is going to stop gameplay in any fashion to present me an ad, I'm not buying it.
Like
But they're
when
not
we're
gonna. I
watching
feel like they're not
stream.
gonna tell you though. It's just gonna. Well, I feel like
Well,
no, because
there's
once no.
two
Here's
there's
the thing.
two
Once it sets precedent, then the first one that does it, we're gonna know it's gonna have ads for sure. But afterwards, I feel like once the precedent is set, nobody's gonna start to. Oh,
there
my game is gonna have ads in there, and
there
that's what I fear.
there's two ways that I absolutely will draw the line on this is if
Mhm.
I'm in the middle of a game and like a slide up pops up or the screen shifts over and all of a sudden I'm being sold Old Spice or Whoppers or whatever the hell,
Forget
I'm
that.
gonna be
Forget
fucking
that.
pissed off.
No, forget
You
that.
know?
What about a pause screen? The minute you pause your game, that comes up like ads. Different
Yeah.
ads start showing on your pause screen, bro.
That's a lot better
Or
than anything that
No, I don't
impedes
want
on
to
the
see shit.
gameplay.
I don't want
the
to see
only
shit.
the
I spent
only
money on a
ads
game.
the only ads that I'd be willing to accept are maybe something that like if I bring up a menu and the menu says in really really small there's a logo of someone, it's like thanks to Under Armour I'll be okay with that. But outside of that, no, thank you. Like, I don't want ads anywhere near my games.
So
But
No Soul says games used to have ads in them. I don't think in a way that EA wants to have ads, and if they did, it's more of like in my mind, I'm thinking like those. You remember those Facebook games?
yeah,
I mean,
like the
they
whole
used,
all the sidebars were all covered in ads all the
right,
time.
or if you download a free game on your phone and you're playing those games, you'll get ads. But I'm talking about your premium purchase here, fellas. Your $70, your $70-$80 purchase, and you're still getting ads. That's like you going to a movie theater and you're during like mid roll, like during the movie, they stop the entire movie and put a running ad. You would be pissed. I
Mhm.
guarantee it.
And
I
I just
Nah,
want
guarantee
to
I
it.
would not
also
buy that
point
game.
out that we've had heated conversations about the price of games and the pricing model of games and how to make games. And I warned about this, that if we don't like find like a good way to make games profitable, and I'm not saying, Harless, we should be more. I'm just saying it's an avenue. But
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
quiet
whoa,
right
whoa,
now.
whoa.
I know you're
Pause,
loading
pause.
up.
Stop for a second.
Hold on
So
one
here's
second.
the thing.
Once real quick. I just say like these are the price. This is the price. You know,
Mhm.
we have this is what we're going to end up be dealing with if there isn't a compromise that's dealt with for us as gamers. You know.
Right. So Shank says product placement has been a thing since then. This is not product placement, Shank. We're not talking about product placement. They want to run ads.
So let me quote the EA CEO real quick, Andrew Wilson. And he said when he was asked in a fourth quarter earnings call, he
Mhm.
was asked, "Will the if they were going to start putting ads in their games?" And he responded. Well, the question was the marketing opportunity for more dynamic ad insertion across more traditional AAA games. Are you going to do that? That's what he was asked, and he's responded saying, we have teams internally in the company right now looking on how to do this very thoughtfully, implementing inside our game experiences. That's what his response was. So
Mhm.
they are actively seeking a way to essentially
Right.
advertise to gamers without us or without us, canceling them.
The way I would do it.
So
I think Reaper says I think what EA wants are ad spots that can change based on who is on contract with them, so they can billboard in game TVs, etc. can change. Eh. Rowena, what's good? Welcome to the stream.
and also for woke culture people, like I know
Shout
people
out
that
to our
do
first time
care.
chatter, Rowena. Welcome in.
Hold them in for the people that care about like where money is coming from for the content you're going to consume. This could be a conflict of interest for them because some people care about that stuff, where if their money's coming from a source that supports things you don't, I'll use Chick-fil-A as an example, that you don't support, you put yourself in a dilemma about
Mhm.
what games you're going to support. So this is a really tricky slope, because gamers are not stupid. We talked about this last week with
Danny
the
and Reaper.
PlayStation thing,
They got the right
Mhm.
idea, Danny and Reaper.
What do you say?
The way I see this being an easy solution is instead of having fake brands in your game, you just have real brands in your game.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
but
Essentially,
they
if
would
you're
have
going
to
to
pay
save
for it.
money.
So I don't know how those do they reach out for sponsorship, or do they
No, companies would pay, like a company,
pay for
Coca-Cola
slots?
would reach out to Grand Theft Auto,
Mhm.
Rockstar, and say, we'll pay you this much money and your billboards will present Coca-Cola throughout the multiplayer
Mhm.
every so often.
So
And
let,
they
Not
would just
only
let's
that too,
let's apply that to a game that
they
could probably
they could
benefit
put
from that.
cars in there too.
Spider-Man,
At that,
Spider-Man 2.
real cars,
they could put
literally.
real cars in there
Well,
on that
let's
note.
say Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2. Let's just say
Mhm.
if you're going to the billboards, if that was a real Nokia billboard or whatever,
Mhm.
would that have enhanced the experience? In a situation like that, that actually would have added authenticity because it's supposed to be New York, So
Right.
are we that cool? Because I think that's kind of cool actually.
No,
And companies would
so I
pay
think
that.
that's what Heartless was saying. Like if they have like billboards within the world, like it's there and you can see that, that is fine. But when you start to make it more intrusive, that's where we draw the line. We have a problem there.
Yeah. And games have moved away 100% for the most part, except for Nintendo, of course, from physical media. So, it would have made sense in the past to have like an ad for something for a product in the game box, but because I could easily just throw that away and not even notice it,
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like now I don't know if there's a way for them to do it and it wouldn't be intrusive because you're buying a digital product and
Mm-hmm.
it's something I'm essentially downloading something that I don't want. So I don't
It,
know.
it comes down to like again, like Shank said, product placement has already always been in games. Like if you're trying to move away from that, like bro, I don't know. Like that's the best possible way I can think of having ads within your game.
And fighting games specifically, I see Danny had the SF5
Yeah,
comment here.
background. Put it in the
Is
background.
doesn't I would absolutely hate if my match got paused or stopped because I had to watch a 10-second ad before the match starts or whatever. That would be so annoying. I would
Mhm,
drop that game so fast. You know, that would already like I remember people were complaining about Tekken 7, how it took a long time for matches to happen because every match was like, "Oh, you ready for the next battle?" And it was like, dude, just give me to the match. Fuck, I don't want to watch that every time. And it
mhm.
would be the same thing here, I think. That would it would take away the immersion of the experience for sure, especially grinding ranked or something like that.
Right.
I probably would stop ranked after watching that ad maybe the sixth time. I would stop grinding ranked because I wouldn't want to watch that ad again. I don't know. It would be tough. It would be a tough. I don't know. I'm not sure how I would respond, but I'm pretty sure I would respond negatively.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But yeah. Um. In other news, another wave of Microsoft shutdowns, bro. So here's the thing, and this is what a lot of people kind of had a major. Me personally, I also had an issue with this shit as well. Right? They made this company, Tangle GameWorks, made probably like unanimously one of the best games last year in Hi-Fi Rush, and they still got the axe. And I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to rationalize, like, how does Microsoft justify? You know what I mean? How does Microsoft justify closing down a company like that when a year ago one of their statements was, we need to focus on smaller games that can win us awards. That game racked up a bunch of awards last year, a shit ton, got a bunch of nominations, but the company still got the axe. Alongside that, they also closed down. Um, was it Austin? Arcane Austin, which was the developers for
Redfall, right? Yeah,
Redfall, which again, like
that was a game that wasn't received well, right? It
oh, it
was not.
definitely was not. I played that game day one on streaming. Boy, I tell you. But outside of that, bro, so they closed down two other like more unfamiliar studios. No, one got absorbed. I don't remember. I think it was the Roundhouse got absorbed into working on another online game. I don't remember exactly what online game that was. And then there was the Doom. I don't know, you know, the portable Doom game.
Alpha Dog Games.
Alpha Dog Games got closed down, but they were the ones who worked on a Doom portable game, almost like a chibi Doom game. So
No,
that's that.
thank you.
Those
I'll
are the
pass on
studios. But what are your thoughts about this entire thing, and what do you think this should sound even more alarms about the games industry as it
Well,
stands right now?
it directly ties into what we were just talking about. Apparently,
Mhm.
games are having trouble generating enough revenue to cover costs, and seems to be the result of that closures of studios. No
Uh,
matter how good of a game it is that you put out, so and like Hi-Fi Rush did.
it also went third party recently. They
Yeah,
put it
it
they
came to PlayStation, right?
it
And
went to
that's
PlayStation and Switch.
Yeah, so that's really sad that a game would get another chance to live, and whoever it is that worked in it didn't get a chance to participate is in that success. But I have not personally played Hi-Fi Rush. I can't speak to the quality of it unless if
Can
you
we get
can.
Reaper a link?
Oh, Reaper wants to hop in.
Yeah, but
All
we
right,
would
cool.
either
Yeah.
have to go in back into the Discord or we would have to get him in here.
Reaper, I'm gonna send you a. Let's see. Let's try it out because not that. So we had two people now, bro. Hold up. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it.
There's a big thing, y'all. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. This is a
Um,
big conversation, and I think Reaper is probably one of the best guys to talk about this because he absolutely hates Microsoft, but I think he also has some good points when
yeah.
it comes to just like understanding this entire industry
So based
situation.
upon so far this year, the gaming industry has seen a total of 9,952 jobs lost.
Reaper,
So from
check
the
your
start
thingy.
from the start of this year. So that is quite a concerning. That's quite a concerning number. Almost 10,000 people have lost their jobs that they're trying to explore their passion in the gaming industry. I'm not saying they won't land another job, but
Mhm.
who knows if there is another job? If the industry is not growing, are there jobs open for them? So this is tough. This is really tough. And I'm gonna say it, Harless. Games might just be too cheap. I know $70 is a high price for a game, but for the
But,
quality that the production it takes to get games might be being sold at too cheap a
so
price.
I don't fully agree with that because here's the thing now. There are, if you notice, most of the games that are taking over right now that are being super publicized and like popular right now. The games that are the highest performing games this year so far are what you would consider double A games and indie games. Helldivers 2 had a very menial budget. That game has made millions already. Manor Lords, another one. Pal World, another one. We're talking about games that didn't have the budget as a Spider-Man or a Final Fantasy or name any other AAA game you can think of, right? The reason why these games, like, think about it, bro. Spider-Man sold millions and barely broke even at just up to recently, right? Had it not been that budget, and most of what they had, like most of the models and stuff within that game, think about it. Most of the models, I'm pretty sure, were ported from Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales Spider-Man. They didn't really make anything new. So why was
Well,
that game so expensive to make? Like
well,
I'm not a
I,
developer, so I don't
yeah,
understand.
it's
I don't.
tough to
Maybe
say.
that's what it
It's
is.
tough to
But
say, not being an industry person like that.
mhm.
But big AAA titles, and we don't like that word, but I'm going to use it anyway. AAA titles, they're expensive, so they may need to be charged a little more. Like
But I
GTA
think
seems to be the most common
here's
answer
the
these
thing.
days. Yeah.
Here's the thing with that too. I think a lot of these companies, they throw a lot of money at a lot of these games just so it can have the triple A title attached to it, because that's what classifies as a triple A game, a game with a massive budget, right? And they will throw all of that money towards a game just so they can sport that little badge.
And also,
Hold up, pause for a second.
before we get to Reaper, last thing I
Mhm.
want to say is why are games why are games locked into these price points? I want to genuinely ask that question
He's an advocate for the $90 price point. Here we go.
because I see people spend $1,000 on an iPhone. I see people
Are you saying people should spend
Oh
$1,000 on video
my
games, Chris?
God, where
I
is this going?
I see people
Chat,
spend
what's
I
happening
I
here?
see women spend $400 on a purse. I see people spend $200 on a pair of Jordans. I see, you know what I'm saying? Like what, and games are too expensive, That's all I'm saying, But
Bro,
anyway,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special guest in here today. We got Reaper PC. Reaper, what's good, bro?
What's
welcome
up,
in.
y'all?
Welcome
He's
in.
got an
Hopefully the mic
image. He's got an
works.
image.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has an
I'll
image.
learn how to do that and I'll get me an image.
I just threw an emote at it. What is going on?
Yeah.
Um,
What's your
w-
thoughts on this whole Microsoft debacle, this whole studio closures?
none of this is surprising. This is Microsoft since the 90s. This is
Mm,
how they've operated. So what you're seeing is their corporate culture
seeping into.
seeping through the gaming culture. This is how they operated with all of their purchasing of properties through corporate culture. So eventually, once you're assimilated and you're a part of a line item, Regardless, let's take Hi-Fi Rush.
Right.
Brilliant example. Even I, as a person who hasn't played it, I saw it. I heard good things about it. I realized it was a beloved game.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it sold well, but selling well is different from meeting projections. Remember, this is a publicly traded company. If
Right.
I go and tell the board this game is
This
going to
Hi-Fi Rush
make
right here.
No, this is not
no,
Hi-Fi Rush.
Sorry,
no,
Razor. Sorry.
it's all right. If I tell the board this game is going to make, I'm gonna just pull a number, $150 million
Mm-hmm.
within, let's give a time frame, within this fiscal year, but the game only makes 90 million. While that's successful, while that might be more money than it costs to develop, it
Mm-hmm.
didn't meet projections. It's a failure.
Right.
Stocks go down.
Mhm.
I just don't understand. I understand it's angering whenever time I bring up the price thing, but I just don't see the equivalent change here with like you go out to eat at a restaurant, you're gonna easily spend over 200, sometimes $200, depending on what
What
you eat.
restaurants are you going to, sir?
I was
Bro,
say you're
bro.
gonna spend. You go to a movie, you're gonna spend hella money to go see a movie. So I
$15
understand that.
a ticket,
If a game is made well,
and it
I'm gonna
plays itself
easily.
for me.
If a game is made well, I'm gonna easily get hundreds and hundreds of hours out of this. And
And I can sneak my own snacks in.
Bro.
Okay. I see both sides of this. I
Mhm.
agree with both sides. What's happened there is perception of the value of games. If y'all think about it carefully, games were really expensive at one point on average for good games. Let's think about the SNES days, right? Any
Right.
game that had that extra 3D chip on it, looking at you, Star Fox, they charged you more for that game. Neo Geo, best looking arcade games coming to home. Across the board, you knew it was going to be more money. All of those things somehow gave you a reason that it was going to charge more money. Oh, the Neo Geo is practically an arcade. Oh, these Nintendo games have an extra chip in it. Oh, this game requires the Sega CD or the 32X. Everything had something. Once you started getting to CD games, if the
Mhm.
game didn't have more CDs or come with an accessory, it was hard to justify the price being higher, right? That's why you had that push against when the games crept up to $60. They had to say, "Oh, it was inflation," because for the longest we were sitting at 50.
Right.
Shout out to everybody who remembers when games were $50 a pop.
I
and
remember that.
another
Bro.
note to this too
Bro.
is I know you
That was
guys.
like
I
10
know
years
a lot
ago.
of these gamers out here. You guys buy games on Steam and then you refund them after if you reach that 2 hour under that 2 hour maybe if you don't like it. So it's like there's a lot of people out there that are like that, and that's
So
fine. But I'm just saying
so
games
I don't
cost money, so the
But
gaming
it's
companies deserve
market
to spend money.
perception, right?
so
Because you're not getting anything tangible anymore. There's nothing to prove why this should cost more money. It's hard for people, especially in this post. We went CD, was hard to prove there. Then we went completely digital for the most part for most people who have bandwidth. Then to those people, yo, I just downloaded this like I downloaded this other game that was $30. Why are you trying to charge me 100? So now you get the collector's edition. Oh, we give you a season pass. Oh, we're gonna ship you a figurine to your house. They have to give you a reason for it to be perceived as being worth more money.
right.
If they don't do that, they're still fighting the perception issue. Regardless
Mhm.
of, I do agree, if it's high quality, maybe something should be said for it being worth more money. But how do you, in mass, convince an audience? By upping the price that high and increasing your margin, you're going to potentially lose more customers, which ruins profitability. What's the point in higher margin if you have
I
less people
mentioned
buying?
it before in previous shows where that puts the burden on the people that are making these games to put out a quality product. Because if it's not a quality product or meets the quality that I'm expecting, I'm gonna demand a refund of this game. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think it puts the burden on them to like you were saying earlier, Cash, about there are indie developers that still cost $60 for the game,
Yeah.
and they didn't put the same amount of effort as Spider-Man 2 did, or spend that much as much money as they did, but I'm still paying $60 for it. So the gaming industry, I think, needs to enter into this variable price points where a certain quality of a game or a certain amount that you're expecting out of the game has a certain price tag with it, and something like an indie developed game might be a certain price point, and so on. Variable pricing. Like if like fine dining restaurants are really expensive, fast food places are nowhere near that price. You know what I mean? Variable is what I'm saying.
So one of the things that I heard, and this is why I'm starting to understand why people are saying it's not Xbox is not 100% to blame for this. And Phil Spencer, it doesn't really fall on Phil Spencer's shoulders per se, because it seems more of like this is Microsoft a Microsoft interference. All right, because this is what this is one of the
Yeah, we gotta
articles
wait
that
for
I
the
read
original
earlier.
point. So sorry.
Yeah,
My
this
bad.
this is this is one of the articles I read earlier in the week, right? And it says Xbox founders are reportedly mourning the loss of the company's identity within Microsoft and refer to it as Microsoft Gaming, not Xbox Gaming. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's exactly what this is. This is more of a Microsoft issue. So it's
Yeah.
going back to what Reaper said.
Microsoft is just kind of, hey, you are ours now, and you're gonna conduct yourself in the way.
Well,
that
I
you do
gotta
business.
drop in here real quick. I gotta say
Mhm.
something. In the world of trying to sell a product, especially a product that's a luxury or any product for that fact, you have
Mhm.
to understand, no matter how much you spend to make that product, the market can only afford so much. In a world where the life is getting harder and harder to afford, more and more people are living paycheck to paycheck. Video gaming at the end of the day is a luxury, and it's very hard to convince people to buy a video game for $100 the same way it's very hard for me to convince people to buy a pizza for $25. It's
Right.
like people are accustomed to specific prices. People
Apply
are
that
still
same
used to
mentality,
$10 pizzas.
Heartless, to someone who spends $200+ on a pair of sneakers. You know,
Well, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
apply that same mentality on someone who spends $200+ on a pair of sneakers.
As
They-
crazy as that
yeah.
sounds, there's a whole generation of people who are accustomed to paying $200 for a sneaker.
You see,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay in in those avenues, and yeah, the drip looks great, but you're only getting so much out of that, out of that transaction.
I mean,
And
you are only getting so much out of that transaction, but there's a hell of a lot more pressure in society to look good than there is to have every video game.
Mm.
yeah.
So Reaper, what do you think about this whole the state of AAA games? Like, you think this is sustainable, or do you think they're gonna have to kind of adopt a double A format?
I think what we're gonna need is what we used to have when they were used to experimenting more,
Mm. Which
where
is
you had different tiers. You remember, once upon a time, these game companies were more like they were more like they were all like Nintendo. Let's put it that way. They were all trying new things. They were all scatterbrained. You'd have light gun shooters, you'd have platformers, you'd have fighters, you'd have first party titles, you'd have titles that were semi first party where they were commissioned by the publisher of the console or the platform or whatever, and they were willing to have different things at different price points, or in their case, I guess this is what you're saying, a double A tier.
yeah,
Mhm.
What's happened here is the big platform holders, and mainly because they're all publicly traded now, want these high profile games because they make it into news, they make it into articles, they make it into ads, they make it in
Mhm.
YouTube ads. They're in the faces of not just us the gamers, but
Right.
also the people who are shareholders. There's this market perception they're trying to keep up
Mhm.
of being this top tier quality thing that people should invest in, whether it
Mhm.
be as a consumer or as an investor. And without that, they seem to not know what to do anymore. They're
and
focusing
in
so
the
much at
in the
that top tier.
I
Uh,
think that may have been true with games before, when gaming was still starting to arise, and the um the companies that we buy games from, and also the franchises we keep coming back to, they weren't known back then like they are now. So though they carry, like, so no matter what you charge, people are going to play these things, they're going to want these things. I think that's where the game industry is now. The IP and the attractiveness and the wanting to be part of that carries itself. So I feel that there's two avenues, and I want us to stay in the price points we are now,
mm.
but we need to sell to more people. And what I mean by that, I mean more than just gamers. There needs to be more people that are just entering in the industry right now and playing games that are going to stay here for the next bunch of years. That
But
and
but
to stay at that price point, we need to do that. That needs to be
but
mass
but to,
marketing.
but to be fair though, Jerm, I feel like video games have become like super mainstream. There
That's
are
what
a
I
lot of
mean.
casual gamers now. So
That's what I mean. It's like the IPs, it doesn't matter what you charge, are going to want these things, you know?
mhm,
So I think companies have actually been doing us a favor at this point, and I know this is going to cause some outrage, by charging the prices they are because they know they could charge more. You know what I'm saying? And then this is where microtransactions and different things come in, you know?
all right, so
So
this is what I said earlier, Reaper. I don't know if you heard that this bit during the podcast. I'm saying a lot of these companies will throw a bunch of money at a game just to give it the label of AAA. I think because you and I think you kind of referenced it just now. They're saying it just to kind of appease the like kind of appease the not appease the shareholder, but kind of like attract shareholders or kind of get them going to like let them feel like, hey, we are kind of like pushing out a certain level of a certain quality of game, right? Which is why I think Ubisoft even referred to Skull and Bones as a quadruple A game.
yeah.
Still very doubtful, but you get what I'm saying, Reaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what this was. I think
So
this is not it's not sustainable. It's just not.
it's not.
Remember,
Yeah. So what
that's
do yeah, go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
part of my apologies. That's part of why you had for a while there. I think this was PS3, Xbox, late PS3, right into the Xbox One. Microsoft kind of took this mantle. They're trying to bring the PC's indie game space hardcore into consoles.
ID at Xbox.
Yeah, one that that looked good for PR, right? Oh, we're helping these small developers. But two, those games cost next to nothing to make, and they were trending at the time. So they're like, hey, if we can make indie games the popular thing,
Mm-hmm.
we can recapture having high profit margins on the games.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for
It,
them,
it does feel
indie,
like games struggle with the revenue stream aspect of things. Is
yeah,
they have the microtransaction, I'm sure they get a lot of revenue from it, but it's like a grind sometimes to get people to buy this stuff, and or it causes controversy. So before, games main form of revenue used to be just buying it at a retail price. That is dried up. That is no longer a thing. So um so now revenue has to come in other ways, and we talked about ads earlier. We talked to microtransactions, having the IP on a sweater, you get money from that, or licensing out the IPs, stuff like that, and I think the gaming industry is currently kind of stuck, and what direction they want to go. They've been trying all these different things, they've been throwing the spaghetti at the wall, and so far nothing has stuck, is what I'm saying. So they're just trying all these different things to try to see where the revenue is going to come,
Mm-hmm.
and we're kind of in that midway point, is defining, or we're kind of in that tilting point of where the industry is going to go. I feel, it could go either direction, but we don't really know. Well, it's hard to know what's best. Yeah, that's always been my stance on the price thing. So
Mm-hmm. What do you think the state of gaming is gonna be in like the next, let's say, 5 years, Reaper?
I think you see how everything's kind of unified. Everyone seems to be moving in the same direction as far as platforms right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to fragment again.
Mm.
Every time everything seems to be that every company is the same, everyone's moving in the same track,
Mm-hmm.
it fragments for some reason or another. And it's repeated, right?
Right.
You had the early Atari games and the ColecoVisions and all that. Same market, same model. Video game crash of the early 80s happens.
yep.
It spins back around. Then you had the NES and the Sega Master System. They started off the same. Then Genesis, and it started to fragment. Genesis went the customization route. Oh, now we have Sega CD. Now we have 32X. Now we have third-party developers. This is when EA was cool, who don't even pay a licensing fee. They make their own kind of custom cartridge that is compatible. Shout out to everybody that remembers the EA Yellow Tab cartridges. Sega didn't get a cut of the money for those. That's why their cartridges look different. But they allowed that back then, and there were all these weird accessories for all these consoles back then, and then they kind of unified. Everybody went CD. Sega tried to stay cartridge. We know that didn't go so well for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone went CD and went down the same path. Then Microsoft was the disruptor. It was like, hey, why don't you just try downloading your games in Xbox Live? And we're bringing multiplayer instead of as a niche on console. It's the primary focus.
Right.
And then everyone unified behind that movement again. And now everyone went with digital games. We're at the point where things have been the same for too long.
Yeah.
And since time repeats itself, some player in the game is going to fragment off, do something different, and change the market again.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that sentiment. And we don't know where that's going to be. It could be Meta, like Facebook. It could be them that do something different and create this new thing. It could be any company, what I'm saying.
Once you mention Meta, the only thing I can think of is that VR thing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't see VR kind of really.
You don't see it yet. But I'm just saying a company like that is going to, like Reaper said, is going to chart a new path, and it's going to it's going to be that change the industry's
reshape the industry,
do, but they couldn't do, and then it'll just become the norm, That's kind of probably where it is right now.
Yeah.
And to read on the 80s thing, the gaming industry grew so big, and then they put a lot of money in making stuff, and it crashed the industry. I kind of feel like maybe games come out so fast now. We're on the point where it could crash again, but there's so many games coming out that it's just too expensive to maintain, and we could be there again, even though games are reporting record profits, but whatever.
They're reporting record profits, but like again, they're not making any money because they're putting so much money in.
And those profits are a thing with games. People report profits. That just means that the shareholders got the money back that they invested in the beginning. You don't always get, that's what, so you have to keep that in mind when talking about profits with companies. So,
but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this segment.
That was a lot. That was a lot today.
And this is also not the end. Like, let's just keep it 100. This is not the end. There's more layoffs to come. Like so far, how many layoffs have we had?
So far, based so far on just this year alone, the layoffs, including these from these closures, is 9,952.
Jesus Christ, bro!
As of this month.
And again, so if people are losing jobs within the gaming industry, I'm telling you, a lot of these people are gonna have to leave the industry. They're not getting another job in the games industry.
Yeah, because if things stay the way they are, there won't be jobs. We'll see more monopolization. We'll see, and then there will just be less jobs to go around. Because
my thing is, bro, this is what I have an issue with Microsoft, right? Why buy these companies in the first place? You're buying them just to kind of just like to close the shutters.
To be fair, that ties into what Reaper was saying. Like Microsoft has a business model that's been successful for them, and when they buy these companies, maybe they don't do that, and they have had to make these tough calls to be like, hey, we bought you for a certain reason, and this just doesn't line up with that. And they have to do it, that's just the way they do business. Like you said, it's just their corporate structure, their corporate way of doing things. And you got to keep in mind, Microsoft gaming is a very small portion of what they do. They only look at numbers on a spreadsheet, as a company. So
the last time I checked, wait a minute. The last time I checked, I know most of their profits come from software.
Yeah, so it's not
gaming. I think gaming was number 2. Gaming was number 2.
It's still, compared to the rest where Microsoft makes their money, gaming is a drop in the bucket for them. It's not like
it really is.
Yeah.
So here, this is why it's, even though you guys were big on, Microsoft buying these companies will be, let's go back, will be great. They'll be part of Game Pass. It'll be this. Those of us who's been around IT long enough know you don't want Microsoft to buy a company. You want them to invest in it, but not to buy it. Because there's like a 60-70% chance they'll mess it up. an old example I can think of.
Mhm.
Hotmail was not originally a Microsoft product. When you think of
Oh,
Hotmail
wow.
now, everyone
Mhm.
thinks junk mail.
Who thinks of Hotmail at all now?
Some people do. You see somebody an older person with a Hotmail address, like, wow, you still have that?
Yeah.
I have an
Think
Hotmail
about it.
address.
Microsoft bought them and ruined it.
Mhm.
Again, Skype,
Yeah.
early
Yes.
2000s,
Yeah.
Skype was everywhere.
Everywhere, and
If you
they
thought of
bought it.
video calling, if you thought of calling over the internet, Skype was the name.
Yeah,
Right.
and then Zoom,
Mm.
they bought it, and then they fucked it up, and then Zoom came in and cleaned up the, grabbed the
There we
back.
go.
Yeah.
So they have a history of doing this. Nokia, they bought
Mhm.
Nokia Mobile. Nokia was the #1 cell phone manufacturer on the planet,
And
bar
now
none.
there's no Nokia pretty much. That I asked that question like last week. Like, is Nokia still around? I think
They had
Heartless
to
brought it up.
They had to restart.
Nokia Engage.
Yeah, I
The
think you brought it
Engage,
up.
yeah, they had to restart after Microsoft bought them and ruined the name.
Damn.
Some remnants of Nokia Mobile from their home country, I think it's Finland or whatever.
Finland.
Yeah, bought the name back after Microsoft had run it into the mud, and they're starting it over again.
Jeez.
Yeah. And we also have to understand too, a part of capitalism is just because you have an idea doesn't mean it's going to make you money. And the like this game Hi-Fi Rush, it's a great game, but that doesn't mean anything unless if it makes you a
It made
profit.
money.
That's
Didn't it
how
make money? I
It
think
that's
made
how
money.
it was profitable.
According to the reports, it was profitable,
It
but it
was
was
profitable.
profitable according to Activision's guidelines, not Microsoft's.
Microsoft.
Yeah, so you see what I mean? It's like a company like Microsoft, they look at numbers on a spreadsheet, and if they see any red, or if they see something that's not where, that doesn't have promise or whatever, and this also comes to be a point where advocation for things, like
Which is
maybe, if you have something you're really passionate about, just be sure that you're an advocate for it.
now
So
I'm trying. Now I'm very intrigued. I want to know. So recently Toys for Bob, they were gonna close down Toys for Bob, right? I want to know the story behind how Toys for Bob became like independent again. Because now Microsoft is actually they're investing in Toys for Bob, but they don't own Toys for Bob. Because remember, Toys for Bob was under Activision.
yeah, let's do
Right.
some research and
It
and
might have
back
been
on that.
licensed to be published by Activision, but Activision may not have owned the IP.
Because they recently announced that they were going independent again because after
Well,
they closed down because they were gonna close down Toys for Bob.
there also could be a thing that the toys themselves may have been made by, say, someone Hasbro, for example, or
Oh
someone.
no, it's not. No, Toys for Bob is that game developer. They're
Well,
the
what I'm
guys that
saying,
made
the games
Spyro,
themselves,
Crash.
the toys themselves may have been made, or maybe something like that, where they may have had someone else help them make the actual toys,
No.
And
It's not that toy. It's not toys. They're game. They're a game development team. They
Okay.
made Spyro and Crash. They were the guys who were in charge of those games, and
Interesting.
they are the ones who's like what I don't know what the term is right now, but they were gonna close down and they
Okay. I just looked it up. Toys
Yeah.
for Bob secured Activision as their publisher.
Okay.
So it looks like they are not owned by, they were published.
So why were they gonna close down? And then eventually they said they were gonna go independent. Oh, because they're gonna publish their own game, so it's not gonna come through Activision again. Got it. Copy.
Interesting.
They just ended their contract.
So what's our takeaway from all this?
So now Microsoft is investing in them directly now. Then,
what's our takeaway from all this discussion? Is like, are we happy with the state of the industry as right now? Does it need more ways to generate profits within itself? Does it need more multimedia elements in it?
It needs more ways to stop asking me for money. I'll tell you that.
Pretty much. Goddamn right.
I think it needs a rebalance. This
In
has happened before. My suggestion is, if you look at the size of the dev teams right now, especially for let's point them out, AAA and above games, if they want to create new categories, if you look at the credits, these things are developed by teams of people across the globe. These things are no longer made by like 5 or 6 people in an office. They're made by hundreds of people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
teams
When you
of
get to
hundreds.
Teams.
yeah,
And that's
when you
just game developers. That doesn't include anything else, like say the lunch lady or whatever,
yeah,
wherever you
that
eat.
that doesn't include any of that. Doesn't include
Yeah.
marketing yet. Doesn't include
Nope.
any of that. You haven't paid any ads to YouTube, to
Nothing.
Spotify, or anywhere to get your game promoted. That is just the game.
Yeah. So
So it, there needs to be a restructuring and rebalance. It got too top heavy. It got into a boom, and unfortunately, I think what we're seeing is what happened in the mid 90s, where everyone kind of started to do it and then it
Mhm.
recorrected.
yeah.
Shout out to
Right.
anyone who had an Atari Jaguar, a 3DO, a 32X, all
Right.
these also rans that came in and got too top heavy and didn't realize they were making the problem worse. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, people lost their jobs then in the correction. And I think we're starting to see that happen again. And in
Yeah,
this
I
case, our
agree.
catalyst was kind of 2020, right?
Oh, yeah.
People saw the money from that,
Right.
took that money, instead of sitting on it and developing with what they had, they
Yeah.
went on a hiring spree.
Yeah, the
Right.
boom
Everybody.
of things like COD and Halo and multiplayer gaming, and it grew too fast, and now we're seeing that kind of the pullback
Yeah,
a
it's a
little bit.
market correction. And
Yeah.
everything's hurting, by the way.
Yeah.
AMD stocks are down. Why? Because AMD makes the chips for all the consoles plus PC side,
Right.
but the consoles aren't moving like they used to. So they're correcting.
Mhm.
Intel's prices are down. Nvidia's stock prices are down. HP, Dell, Sony, Microsoft, they're all reporting that sales have slowed. But why did you build all your projections out of an anomaly, which was 2020? That wasn't sustainable to begin with.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts. See, like I've studied, I've taken classes and what I go to school for, and everything Reaper is saying is right in line with the industry. Is like it's in a, but yeah, it's on a balancing point right now, and there's going to be a kind of a reckoning situation that's probably going to come in the next few years about the pricing model of games. What are you doing, Cash? What are you putting on the screen right now? What are you doing?
Stream just
It's
went
Yakuza.
Hey, yo.
Is
NC-17.
this
It's
your way to
Yakuza.
segue? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
It's
doing?
Yakuza. It's Yakuza.
But yeah, I feel the industry is on a kind of a tipping point and determine where it's going to go from here. Is and one thing I know for sure is not everyone's going to be happy with the way with the way it goes. Either the developers aren't going to be happy because they ain't bringing enough money, or we're
Mhm.
not going to be happy because they're causing us to spend more money, or microtransactions are going to be annoying as fuck, or we're going to get ads in our game. And it's not everyone's going to be happy. That's for sure. So,
What in the fuck?
what are you doing, Cash? Why are you
I'm
putting
moving
on
on.
the
The
here?
Oh,
latest Like a
it's the
Dragon
game.
game.
Yes, the Like a Dragon. Like I didn't even know they did that in the game.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't know. My
You put
apologies.
that. All right. Are we switching topics now, or what's happening now?
So the next topic we're on was the whole debacle that happened this past. No, it wasn't this weekend. Last weekend with PlayStation and this whole requirement of people needing a PSN account in order to play Helldivers. They've since then came back out and it was like, listen, guys, we're just kidding. That's not gonna happen. Um, but there is the release of Ghost of Tsushima, which will not, you won't need it for single player, but for multiplayer, you're definitely gonna need a PSN account. Some
Has
fans are saying they don't care because they only really want the single player, so they can miss them with that portion.
has
But a
anyone
lot of
played
people still don't like it.
multiplayer? What is the
Yeah,
multiplayer
I hear
portion?
the multiplayer is pretty much the game, but it's just multiplayer.
You play with
Single
another
player.
person, like
Yeah, you could.
like Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's
Kinda
like
that?
it's called it's called Legends. The multiplayer is called Legends, and I hear it's pretty good. It's like a lot of fun.
The game. It's what was one of the game of the year contender, right? The year it came
Yeah,
out.
It was.
Yeah.
didn't he win Game of the Year? Didn't he win Game of the Year that year? What won Game of the Year over Ghost of
Let's
Tsushima? I think Ghost of Tsushima won the Game of the Year.
Let's see. Last year it
It wasn't last
was
year. It
Baldur's
wasn't last
Gate. The
year.
year before, I don't know who pays attention to that's the kind of stuff. But
Let me see. Game of the Year.
2023 or 2022. Elden Ring won Game of the Year the year
Okay, but it got
before.
nominated.
So, but still,
But
that's cool. Well, to be honest, I don't care about this PSN account thing. Like, I don't play Steam. I can understand if a Steam person would be salty about this, but I personally don't care about making it
here's my
extra
thing.
to play a game.
Yeah,
It's
so there's
really
a few things that I was unaware of before I spoke about it. One, I didn't realize that PSN was not available in so many countries. I think over 70 countries. They're not available in like over 70 countries, which means PlayStation, they're kneecapping their business by making that a requirement.
Why
Because
do we think
prior to
that
that,
is? Why would you not
because
have
it's to
a dig-
bolster their player base, Germ. It's
I
to
mean,
give
why
the
would you not have it
illusion.
in every country? Is what I'm saying. Like,
Oh,
No,
why?
some
depends
countries
on the
just yeah,
local laws in that country,
exactly.
depending on
Some
who they
countries
do
don't.
business with
There we
or
go.
affiliations thereof.
Hmm.
It's not allowed.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So you're kneecapping your business just because you want to trick investors into thinking that these you have more players on your PlayStation platform than you actually do. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's what it looks like from my perspective. I don't know about you guys, but that's what it is for me.
Well,
Right?
here's the thing.
Hmm.
What do you think they make more money off of?
Um,
Okay,
what do you
I have
mean?
an answer to that question. It was great to hear what you guys said, but according to this website, aconera.com, it says Sony has to get digital storefronts and these kinds of accounts approved by local governments. So unless if it's approved by the local government, they can't sell it there. So that's
Yep.
why.
So, do I make more money? So now that answers that. Do I make more money from each individual sale of the game, which you folks have since for the past half hour been telling me profit margins are down? Or do I make more money from investors throwing more money at my company because I just told you I got 15 million new people on my platform?
Yeah, you're gonna attract more investors if they know that more people are coming to the platform.
So if that's the moneymaker, then that's
Yeah.
worth the loss.
I think it's for collecting player data, if you ask me. So because they want to know what trends are, how players are playing the game, what they're enjoying, what they're spending the most time in, you know.
You can get that data without a PSN account.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull that straight from the game's logs. You could have that pull.
So it's more about bolstering their player base, Jeremy.
Hmm.
That's really what it is. But like again, I that's one of the issues that I saw here, and the other one was crap. I totally forgot because that was the biggest one that I saw here. Um. Anyways, that's my bad. I don't
But does it
remember.
really
If I
matter?
remember.
Like, is it really that big of an inconvenience? I know we're moving on, but is it really that big of an
I
inconvenience?
think
An extra
it is. Oh, yes. So here's the thing: it's more of a benefit to PlayStation players than it is for PC players.
Yeah.
That's what I
Just
think.
just
And it's
imagine to us, and this is now we're speaking from privilege. I'm assuming everyone here is in North America, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're speaking from privilege. Oh, it's not a big deal. Sign for account. If you're in one of those 70 countries and you're past Steam's return window, you now have a game you can no longer launch.
Mhm.
That's a big issue.
Yeah, but
that-
so Steam actually pulled the game. That was when the Helldiver situation happened. They
Mhm.
actually did pull Helldivers from storefronts in those countries, and they were offering
Refunds.
return refunds for the game. Anybody who's played the game over that 2 hour
Time.
threshold. So that good on Steam for that. But I know exactly why they did it. It's just to cover their own asses at that point.
yeah. Well,
Um,
good. Well, good on Steam for listening to people and implementing,
no,
what people
I
want
know.
to
I
see.
never said 70. I said over 70.
117. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that now becomes bad PR, right?
Mhm.
Even if you do offer, well, that's good on Steam, but that's still a bad PR for Sony. So that hurts your PR game.
And you think there
Yeah.
might be a little bit of a corporate stab there? Like, yeah, I know these companies compete and they all compete for the same market share. So it's like, they're like, hey, this is our chance to stick it to one of our competitors, let's do it. You know, we're
That
gonna
that
pay
gives
you
that
know?
gives Nintendo and Microsoft a one up in that sense. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, we won't do that to you. Because
Yeah.
Microsoft already has an established path for making sure their storefronts are approved in every country they sell to. So that
not
wouldn't be
only
an issue.
that, not only that, like they already have that framework of needing to sign into Xbox to play their games, right? So
Yeah.
that outrage, I feel like they they kind of dodged that outrage window.
Sony is such a big company too. I mean, this is not like we're not
But it's
talking about
new.
some
This is
small
new for
company.
them,
You know?
though.
They should
Yeah,
be. It's weird that they're not available.
Well,
online, right?
okay.
Weird, right?
So this is where Japan's a little bit behind. And I'm not to be stereotypical, but if you look at any Japanese primary dev company for
Mhm.
video games, they're always backwards when it comes to the multiplayer online thing because that's not as big an element over there as it is for the rest of the world. So that's why Nintendo's online system, you remember how it used to be with the codes and all that? It was backwards. It was not seamless at all.
yeah.
Capcom, still to this day, does not have a seamless setting up of a lobby. It's always easier on Mortal Kombat, but where's Mortal Kombat developed? North America.
North America.
Japan's always, they think about the online experience last. It's an afterthought. You can see it in their design, the way they lay things out, the way they approach things. Even in this misstep, you can see it's always an
I
afterthought.
echo that with the way the Tekken 8 lobbies run. Anyone who plays Tekken 8, what the fuck is wrong with those lobbies? But anyway, it's
an afterthought. They don't think about it as much.
raging.
No.
But yeah, well, I think this ain't going nowhere. Like people are gonna have to make.
No,
accounts
it's gonna
now.
like this is just the start of it. People are gonna outrage, and then eventually it's just gonna be the norm again. It's just like DLCs all over again. Like I keep saying that it's DLCs and microtransactions all over again. People
Mhm.
had an issue with it until they didn't. That's really what it is.
Yeah, if anyone remembers the life cycle of Tekken X Street Fighter, yeah, like the outrage around DLC at the time, and now DLC is just the norm, you know. So it's like
Pretty much.
yeah, this is how it goes.
All right, so now we're in a different segment of our podcast. Reaper, I'm gonna go first since you're our surprise guest tonight. I have this
Hi.
question for you. Who
Oh.
are no, you're not leaving. You're staying.
Well, it's Mother's
it-
Day today, or
it's
Mother's Day
Mother's Day.
yesterday. So
Yeah.
we want to shout out the moms in gaming. So
Wait. No. Wait. I'm gonna ask Reaper this question.
Yes.
Reaper, do you have a top 3 like video game, like a video game mom? Top 3 video game moms.
So mothers that are in video games.
in the
Yes.
game themselves,
Yes.
not
It
your
can-
mom, but just in games that are in themselves.
Yes,
yeah.
not gamer moms.
Yeah.
Moms in video games. So they can be they
that's
can be
crap.
they can be supporting or the main character.
Here,
That's crafty. Number one, I think has to be I'm gonna butcher her name. Dimitrescu or whatever, the villain from Resident Evil Village.
Lady Dimitrescu.
Yeah, she
Oh,
had
the
her
big
daughters
tall
with her,
girl?
and they
Yeah.
were all in the business.
Yeah.
And even though she wasn't the hero
Oh,
of
she's
the
an
game,
entrepreneur.
yeah,
Mhm.
entrepreneur. Even though she
Yeah,
wasn't the hero
we're
of the
just
game,
asking for memorable moms. It could be
Yeah.
any kind of mom applies
yeah,
here.
even though she wasn't the hero of the game, she was the focus. I think that's the most popular character of that game.
Yeah.
No one remembers who the main character is. They remember her though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Lady
reasons. Yeah,
Dimitrescu.
they remember her for reasons. Yeah.
Hey, you got 2 more.
I don't like y'all. This is a good
They're
one.
putting you on the spot here. First thing that comes to mind.
Oh,
Whoa.
Borderlands. The woman that ran the bar. She had a heart tattooed on her chest. Why can't I remember her name? She's the mother of the To Catch a Ride dude. Ellie, the big mechanic chick. Those are all her kids, but she looks younger than all of them. I can't remember her name.
She wears a top hat. I know what you're talking about.
I would have prepared for this if I had known. Borderlands.
Mad Moxie. Mad Moxie.
Yes.
Mad Moxie.
So that's mother number 2.
Are you able to share the notes with Reaper?
Oh yeah, I can.
Hop in the Discord, Reaper, and we have a list that you can reference if you want.
Okay. And now I need a
No, but this is fun. I want him to think now. Like shit. This is fun.
Holler. I'm remembering one from Twisted Metal. I can just reach for the Twisted
Really,
Metal discs.
Twisted
They're
Metal.
right
Like,
here.
wow, that's
Yeah.
who would have thought about Twisted Metal? And I haven't seen a trend
second.
here. You like moms that are murderers in murder games or something. Just kidding.
I mean,
Hey,
they're the most fun, aren't they?
everyone likes them a
Man-
little. Everyone likes a little bad.
maniacal mothers. You know what I mean?
But shout out to moms though. Like, where would we all be in our lives without our moms?
Right. I'm
So
gonna ask Heartless next. I need to know his.
Okay.
Tony is gonna make you use a
Jeez.
PSN. Oh no, I didn't see that. Give me a second. So
What's the question,
Uh,
Cash?
mothers, your top 3 moms in video games.
who are
So
your top
go
3
for it.
moms in games?
Top 3 moms in video games.
Hold
Well,
up, let me
first-
read what No Soul said about the the PSN thing. So, as someone that has both PSN and a Steam, I can tell you this. Because I know the reason why we're gonna be made to sign in. Sony was gonna force you to have a PSN so they could force you to pay for PSN to play Helldivers 2. But you don't
But
need
if that's
PSN.
on Steam, that doesn't apply. 'Cause
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
wouldn't.
apply.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
don't.
think his theory was that eventually they would add a payment layer.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Xbox,
hmm
because that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of like moving away from Xbox, because I don't use I don't play
Do you
online.
think
That
maybe that they were also preparing for the eventual downturn of the game to have isolated PlayStation servers? I'm not saying that would happen, but eventually, if that did happen and the game really dropped off and people move on, they would want you to have that PSN account. So they eventually, they could get you to buy.
it would apply if they lock you
a
out of your
PSN.
Helldivers. That's what No Soul is saying.
I don't think
Yeah.
Steam would allow that.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think
Steam
Steam would.
definitely would. They
Not
I
would.
don't
in-
think Steam would sell you a game and then all of a sudden you
Steam's
no longer have
model
access to that game without a
that's
subscription.
absolutely against the way
No. You have to play online because Steam you can play online for free from Steam. So I don't think they would allow that shit.
Yeah, that seems to be against the way Steam likes to do business. Like that solely seems to be against their whole thing. But
No,
hey.
Steam is not going to let a third party affect how they
And the
run
guy that
their.
created Steam, right? That's kind of like his thing. He champions that idea of having a platform that is, like that,
Bro, that's the
Yeah,
reason why I'm trying to transition. I'm gonna transition to PC, like fully transition to PC. I don't need that. I don't want to have to pay for a service just to play with my friends online. That's bullshit. It doesn't make sense.
Welcome to my thinking circa early 2000s when part of the reason why I stopped consoles.
Wow. See,
Rip to my PS2.
You know
It
what
was my
pisses
last
me
one.
off is
Mm.
I don't even play games online on my Nintendo
I'm just saying
Switch,
that was the plan.
and I still have to pay monthly to
Allegedly.
be able to download games off of
Mhm.
I find that.
Oh, their
really
network?
fun. Yeah.
Oh, I found my third one.
All right, who is it?
Granny Dread. She was the monster truck in Twisted Metal 3. She was a grandmother, but technically still
Yo,
a
this
mother.
man is surprising me with a bunch of these characters,
Wow,
bro.
man,
And I
that
didn't
was
think
quite
about
a
them.
reference.
Yo, they ruined the peace in her neighborhood in Twisted Metal 2. She hopped in the monster truck, put some chain guns on it, and said, Granny's going to work.
Wow, I love that. I love
Oh,
that.
I see her. I'm gonna pull up a picture of her. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Well, I remember the monster truck, but I didn't know it was a granny that drove it. That's
In 3, it
cool.
was a granny. In 2,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Granny Dread. I'm about to show her on Thing Reaper. Let me know if this is her.
Let me.
All right,
is this
Heartless.
her?
What's your list? What's your list?
Is that her?
Bit of a lag here. Are you showing it in the restream or on?
Restream.
Yep, that's her. That's Granny Dread.
Oh, wait, shout out to grannies. Seriously.
Yo.
Jeez, not happy.
That is some deep
Deep,
gamer
bro.
knowledge right there. Like, wow.
Deep, bro. I didn't expect that at all, bro. Yo, shout out to freaking Reaper.
That is a core memory right there that just got unlocked out of Reaper's brain.
Bro.
All
Heartless.
right,
turn.
Heartless, what's up? What's your
My list, top 3 mothers in gaming. Obviously, number one's got to go to Anna from Overwatch because
Of course, your main.
Of course,
Anna?
that's my
of
main.
course.
Dumped a lot of hours into her. The next one I'd have to say is probably the most iconic, and it's I don't think any of y'all thought about this, but it's the mom that you get in Pokemon.
Bro, I said that. I posted I don't know if you saw my
every
tweet
Pokemon
today.
game, the Pokemon mom.
Did you see my tweet today?
The-
Yeah.
Did you
What
see my
tweet?
tweet? Huh?
What tweet?
I made a tweet about the main character's mom in
Okay,
Pokemon, and this is
the
what I
po-
said. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up
the
on stream real
Pokemon
quick.
mom, like I'm sorry, but she's a really bad mom. She throws
No,
her
no, no,
10-year-old
she's
out
the
to the
she
streets.
no, she's the greatest mom ever. So
Yeah.
this is what I said in my tweet. I dedicate this day to probably one of the best video game moms ever. She allowed you to go outside for days, probably even months, to go hunt pocket monsters and prove you are the best.
She
Happy Mother's
essentially
Day.
throws your 10-year-old out in the streets. Like what a
Yo,
great
this is what she said in every game, by the way. All boys leave home someday and
Yeah.
kick you the fuck out. You gotta
Get
go.
the fuck out. Well, at least you make sure that you pack like was it your undies and shoes or whatever. Isn't that what they always say in the beginning? Like make sure you pack your underwear or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, get out the
Everyone.
house so mama can go get her back blown out. Bye.
Bye,
Hey, yo, what?
bro.
You know,
Straight
there's
up,
an
bro.
interesting theory about Pokemon. How there's not like a lot of fathers or a lot of men in general, married men.
Why?
Is apparently there's a theory that there was some big war. They hinted at in, Pokemon XY, where and then apparently the men fight and the men die. That's why there's so many single mothers in all of Pokemon. But hey,
Yo, I'm ready. I'm about to kill you with my list. Let's go. I'm ready.
like that's a bit of a lore dump. That's like some side fiction right there. But anyway, Harless, number 3.
Number 3. See, I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I'll give you a notable mention to Sora's useless mother in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know he had a mom. Is she
Exactly.
in the game? Is she in the
Exactly.
game? Is she in the game though? Because she has to be in the game.
So I'm telling you, she's useless. I'm telling you, how you let your kid and his friends fall in a portal
moms, and we've gotten so far
and end up in a 12-game franchise. How did you let your kids end up in the Fast and Furious of Square Enix? How did you let this happen?
Gosh, this did not play out how I intended. I was expecting we were supposed to be honoring moms. We have so far killers and people that talk with 10-year-olds.
Give me some. Yo, you know what? Is Chun-Li a mom?
Yeah, she is. She adopted a kid.
There we go. She's technically a mom. There we go.
Adoption make you're still a mom.
Not all mothers are
absolutely.
biological.
She's a mom.
Not all mothers.
She's a full-fledged mother.
Not all moms are biological.
Sorry.
Not all moms. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if you all heard that, but okay. All right. So that's Germ, your turn, and I'll give
All
mine.
right. For me, Chun-Li was one of mine. She was. I'm not no particular order of these moms, by the way. So we have Chun-Li, the adopted mom of Li Fen. She's the GOAT. And I have Aunt May from the Spider-Man games.
That's not video game mom, Germ. Come on, do
she's
harder,
in
do
a video
better.
game. It counts.
better.
And Spider-Man has been in so many games. It counts. And plus
No, it doesn't. Come on, we need.
Anyone who didn't shed a tear when she passed, man, like what is wrong with your soul?
I didn't.
I didn't.
And then actually I lied. Number 1 for me of all time will be Sophitia from the Soul Calibur series. She's my number 1 mom in all of gaming.
Wow, I have not thought about that.
That's
Holy
my
crap.
number 1.
Really?
She has 2 kids, 2 twins to be exact. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has twins, and they actually get kidnapped by Tira. Oh, Soul Calibur 5, the series. Those two, Pyra and the other girl, I forget her name. They are Sophitia's kids. They're twin brother and sister, and those are Sophitia's kids. Yeah, and one gets corrupted by the Soul Edge, and the other becomes like a slayer of the demon people or whatever. The Malfested, and yeah. And that game was total trash story wise, but yeah, those are Savitia's kids.
All right, yeah, ready for mine?
Let's get it.
Let's go.
All right, so does Yennefer count
as an adopted mom? I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you really want to go that way, yeah.
So Yennefer is one of mine. I love the Witcher series. Yennefer. There is Sonya Blade, because Sonya Blade is a MILF. And I see a pattern here for sure. They're all going to be MILFs. And then and then there is Freya, God of War.
Okay,
This
yeah,
guy over here.
the druid lady, right? The
No, bro. Freya
she,
is
she heals the pig, right?
Baldur's mom.
Yeah,
Freya's
she heals
Baldur's
the
mom.
pig, right? She heals the
Huh?
pig, right? The one
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the one
yes.
that yeah, okay.
Yes. So yeah, those are my three. Those are my three.
Okay, nice. I have a few
Love those
honorable
characters.
mentions if we have
Mhm.
some time. First
Who's
of
that?
all, there's the penguin mother from Nintendo Super Mario 64. If anyone remembers throwing that baby off of the cliff, shame on you. That's that's that mother's baby. Come on now. And then we have Kangaskhan from the Pokemon series, one of the OG mothers probably in all of gaming. and um and then we have the mama from the Cooking Mama series, if anyone knows who that is, what series that
So
is.
hold up. So chat. Before we even continue, chat. If you guys have your top three, you can drop them in the chat as well. You know what I mean? Drop them in the chat, or what you can do is do us a favor and put that in on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, post it on it. Your top three. These are my top three top three moms in gaming, and you're gonna do that. You're gonna hashtag Gamer Actual Podcast.
And
So yeah.
also shout out to the mother of demons, Jun Kazama.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Mother
Yo,
of demons.
Danny just said no sea vipers are crime. Wow. Yo, Danny, we actually had sea viper on the list, but we just didn't
She's
bring
on the
her up.
list, but it's our personal top.
These are our personal, yes. But sea viper is definitely on the list this year. You want to do a speed run of the characters we had on the list, Jeremy?
Yeah, sure. Well, I already mentioned a couple. Mama from the Cookie Mama series. We have Sonya Blade, which was on your list. We have
Mhm.
Sindel from the MK series.
Oh shit.
Got Katana's mama.
Yeah.
And we have Crimson Viper, which is already mentioned. We have the boss from Metal Gear 3.
Remember her?
Clementine from The Walking Dead. She adopted that little kid in like the very last game. It was a great story. Genova, which was Sephiroth's mom from Final Fantasy VII. Elena Fisher from the Uncharted series. We have Mother
Oh
Brain.
shit, Freya's on the list. I didn't even realize Freya was on the list. I'm sorry,
We
I
have
didn't remember.
Mother Brain from Super Metroid.
Mother Brain, does that count?
Oh, it's a mother. He made the Metroids.
I mean, it has mother in the name, but that's count.
And,
That's crazy.
we have Eliza, who is Ken's wife from the Street Fighter series, and Nina, who is Steve's mom in the
I'm taking. Okay, that's what's up.
So yeah, quite a list of moms in video games.
That was a dope segment though. I like that.
One thing I do want to say is I feel like there's a bit of a lack of representation when it comes to moms in games. Where's that nurturing mom badass that we're looking for in games? You know, that you actually play as.
I
They're
think
always a
Jun
side character.
Kazama is that because she's a playable character in Tekken 8, no?
We're just saying it's rare. They're very rare. There's not a lot.
Sindel is also playable. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but like
Sindel ain't no bad. She ain't no nurturing mama. You know?
Crimson Viper. You could say that about her, no?
Well, we don't know because all she does
Chun-Li,
is
Chun-Li can nurture me anytime, bro. I'm sorry, what? Bayonetta? Wow. Bayonetta and Trish.
Wow.
That's right. Bayonetta, I had her in my mind when we were talking about the whole mom situation, but it just never clicked to say it. You know what I mean? That's ever happened to you guys before? Like you can have somebody.
That is a perfect example of a mother that you play as that it's also like, you know, a nurturing mother. See, that's what we're missing in gaming is more characters like that. You know?
Like Jerem brought up the fact that Lara Croft should be a mom at this point.
Like Lara Croft, if she had a kid and then she went on adventures, dude, I'd buy that game. That'd be
she ain't
cool.
settling down for shit.
She ain't settling down. No, I don't think Lara Croft is settling down anytime soon. I'm sorry. That should be a question. Which character do you think is gonna settle down?
She doesn't need to settle down. She just got to get pregnant. You know.
Oh wow.
Girl has needs. You know. So.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
Facts. Single mother.
Imagine a Tomb Raider. You're doing Tomb Raiding with a pregnant Lara Croft, bro.
The amount of time she gets yeeted off of cliffs or whatever, that's not going full term. That is not.
Anyway, this
And
is
if
a
that
fire.
kid does come full term, trust me, bro, that kid deserves to be born.
So
Trust me.
that
Yo.
actually is our question of the week this week is
Who's your favorite?
who is your favorite mom?
Our top three. Who's your
Top
top three
three
video
favorite
game
mom.
mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, No Soul and let me see. So No Soul and Cubes and Shank. Let me see what Shank says. Kazumi, June are my three.
Kazuna? That's
Kinomitsu. Who's
Kaguya's
that? Is
mom,
that
right?
who's
Yeah.
Kinomitsu?
Kinomitsu is like the ninja girl in Tekken, I think.
Okay. From Tekken. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kazumi is Hohachi's like wife or whatever, baby
Mhm.
mama or whatever you want to call her.
So Cube says Grandma from Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. What else did he say? Mother Penguin. Did I see
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one?
I put her as an honorable mention, the mother
Mhm.
penguin.
Who else? Who else is here?
And then one final mommy that I want to personally acknowledge is Marisa
Dina.
herself. Marissa's always gonna be my mom. My mom.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That phrasing.
Anyway,
Right.
I made it weird.
So Nick's from Hades. So those are Cube's three. So let me see. What's Cube's three? Mother Penguin. He said Grandma.
Nyx from Hades.
Nick's from Hades and Grandma from Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Now,
Oh,
Dina
yeah, right.
said so. Queen Mouse says Dina from Last of Us 2. Who else? Who's your top
I
three?
forgot about the grandma in that might be the only mom in all Nintendo. If you think about it, I can think
No,
Seriously?
Pokemon Mom.
Pokemon mom, yeah, Pokemon mom.
No, that can't.
Like
Who?
can you think of maybe Donkey
Ah.
Kong, Wrinkly Kong, yeah, there's Wrinkly Kong, but there's not a lot of moms in Nintendo.
I didn't
For
think about
for
that.
main games, main
Yeah.
franchise games.
Main
Not a lot.
franchise games? No,
Yeah.
no. We've
I
never
mean,
seen
Samus
Mario's
is
mom.
clearly not a mom, and
Who?
so Samus is clearly not. So
No, unless you want to say she adopted the Metroid, then no,
yeah.
she ain't got no kids.
And then Peach is definitely not a mom.
Nah,
So
yeah, Mario ain't got no partner yet. So
yeah.
no. I'm just
Are you
saying,
saying
bro.
Mario's firing blanks?
Literally
Probably.
all the women in Fire Emblem. Okay, yeah, there you go.
You know, all
Probably.
the mushrooms got him messed up. Fire one, the flying one. Don't do drugs, kids.
So Shank says literally all the women in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah, you can knock them all up.
But yeah. So we forgot rumor mill, my bad. So we have one big rumor, especially when it comes to Resident Evil, which let me see the Discord real quick. So I actually posted in the Discord, was it today, about what's the next main game for stream, and I think most people are saying Resident Evil 4 remake, which I usually play horror games with a heart monitor on, so this might definitely be the main game for the stream. But yeah, the rumor is that RE9 will feature Leon S. Kennedy as the protagonist, and it will take place on a island of sorts. And this is allegedly. No, I don't really know the full details, but let's see. This is coming from a. I can't even read this thing, but it's coming from some reputable source that they've um dropped news before that turned out to be true. And they're
Well,
saying that source who leaked the information from Dust Golem about Resident Evil 9 apologizes for mistakenly sharing the information and corrected that Leon is actually the main character in Resident Evil 9. So yeah, he will be the main character. On the other
that's great.
hand, we apologize for not quoting the above source and the misunderstanding that occurred from both parties. So yeah, apparently that's the case. I don't know if it's like because I can't read this looks Arabic. It looks like it's an Arabic translation, so I don't know who Capcom is talking to over there about their characters, but hey.
Good. Well, if there's anything that Capcom, every time Leon starred in a game, it's been a banger. So this could be.
I'm looking forward to it because
Yeah.
he's usually the one who elevates the friggin' thing
Yeah.
outside of Ethan. I think Ethan, like, why did they choose Ethan anyways? Like, I still don't, because I don't think fans really take to Ethan that much. The story's great, but Ethan's never like really a
I think
memorable
they did that
character.
purposeful because Resident Evil 7, let's be real, was a huge gamble for them. Like
Yeah,
the
but
whole concept of it. So
he's
yeah.
supposed to be an. I feel like they did that with Ethan because he's supposed to serve as like an analog. I feel like that's
I
what
think
it
that
is.
was an artistic choice and an intentional choice because it was such a huge gamble and such a huge change of tone and direction for the franchise that it was going recently anyway. So
Right.
they didn't want to put one of their main stars in a game that might not be well received, you know? So that's probably why. But even though they've done that with Chris how many times now?
Right.
But, I think that was an intentional choice. And yeah, Ethan was like by far one of the most blandest characters around in all of gaming. He was really boring.
Like I'd never gain any kind of attachment to Ethan whatsoever in the game.
I think that's the curse of first person, if you ask me, because games tend, first person games, you only become really knowledgeable of what their hands look like. You don't have as much of a connection from a character if it's a first person only game.
Whoa. No Soul just said Ethan is more popular than Leon.
What? That's the hottest take of this
Just
whole
in
podcast.
more games? What are you saying right now?
That is the hottest take of the whole podcast.
Then y'all didn't go through Ethan's lore. Listen, Ethan is not more popular than Leon S. Kennedy. I'm sorry.
Leon Kennedy,
I am
anything that
sorry.
Leon Kennedy has been in from Resident Evil has been a straight banger. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, these remake, straight bangers. He has not missed. Whenever Leon's been the star, it has not missed.
That is a hot take and a half, bro. This man said Ethan is more popular than Leon. Nah, bro. Nah, I'm actually gonna post that poll in freaking on freaking Twitter. I need to know. I need to know. Now you're just nah, no Soul. I don't agree with that one.
I think probably Dormitsu is probably more popular than he is. But
Who?
the big tall lady in
Lady Demetrius.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. You're talking about lore. I don't think anybody's gonna really like dig deep into Ethan's lore like that. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like,
what lore does he actually have? He's just a normal dude that is like.
no, Ethan's pretty much. I think Ethan's pretty much immortal. If, like, spoiler alert, if you played Resident Evil 8,
I haven't played
he's
that.
still
I
alive.
never played a single Resident Evil.
So
not
you
a
should be
single
watching
one?
me play that on
Not
stream.
a single what?
Never.
Not
right here.
I've never touched.
Bro, this man doesn't even like
while Resident
platformers.
Evil was
Heartless.
on.
Not a single.
Listen, Reaper. Heartless doesn't even like
So
platformers.
Heartless,
So
what did you do from
Wow.
1998 to like 2004? That's like Resident Evil was like the
I had a
series. you played.
Dreamcast. So I played Sonic. I played Power Stone. Then I had a GameCube. Moved up to. I had a Nintendo
Resident
64,
Evils were on Dreamcast.
Mario. Then
Resident
Super
Evil
Mario
4
Sunshine.
was on the GameCube. When it
that was the
came
first
out.
platform
Yeah,
it
but
came
this
out
wasn't
on.
that this wasn't the games I was playing.
Resident
And then you had
Evil 4
Resident Evil 0 as
Resident
well
Evil-
on GameCube.
Resident Evil 4 was first on the GameCube.
I was playing
when
Final
it hit
Fantasy,
the
Kingdom
world on
Hearts.
fire.
This man said, bro.
If
Nah,
you had
Heartless, we need to get you to play one of
if
these
you
games.
had a GameCube during those times, you had Resident Evil 4. It was that impactful of a game at the time because that was one of the only cool games you could play on the GameCube at the time. There wasn't a lot of games that were worth playing for that system back then.
Shank said, I never played RE either, but I have my own reasons. Such as Shank,
Such as
share. Sharing is caring, Brody. But yeah, bro. Nah. No.
All right. Well, when we reach episode 50, we're gonna do a Resident Evil game.
What is up with these random chatters tonight? This is kind of crazy.
This has been a banger podcast. Like that Mother's Day thing did not hit the way I was hoping it would. But like shout out to all the moms though. Like seriously, what you guys do for
No, you were expecting some kind of wholesome
I
mother
was
cake.
expecting the
No,
wholesome
you
to-
forget who's
to that
on this
show.
podcast with you.
I guess if anyone wants to bring the wholesome, it'll have to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shout out to all
I'm
the
a
moms
bitch
out
when
there.
it comes to horror genres.
Yeah,
Yo,
okay.
so here's the thing. I was about to say Mellow, and the minute I was about to say it. He pops up. Same here, bro. Bello. And you're now gonna be immortalized on this podcast for this. This man said when he got to 100 followers on Twitch, he would stream Resident Evil 2 at night. He's since then forfeited that claim, that promise. He's now almost at 200, and this man has yet to play Resident Evil on stream.
Resident Evil 2 is not even that scary.
Actually, no, I disagree.
Are we talking
That
about the
shit is
remake
scary.
here? Because the Resident Evil original is not that scary.
No, the remake
Turn
is
the
scary.
volume down.
None
and
of
you
them
won't
are
get
scary.
scared.
The remake has some shit in there, bro.
Resident Evil 2 has the jump scares going for it, but if you turn the volume down, you won't ever be affected by that shit.
But it's the sound that keeps me alert. I need to figure out when these guys, especially when Mr. X is chasing my ass, bro. I need the sound. I need to hear it, bro. You know what scared me? I was playing Resident Evil 3 and I was trying to, you're usually safe when you get to like those little rooms that have the typewriter in there so you can save.
Yeah.
So I was running from friggin' Nemesis, bro, and I entered that room. I was like, all right, I'm safe now. This motherfucker opened the door and came in. I'm like, no fucking way. Bro, I had to run out of the room. I've never seen that in Resident Evil, bro. That was crazy. Because I
For
thought
me,
I was
I've
safe.
had a similar experience, but with Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2, like in the beginning, there's that big fog, and you can't really see very well.
Mhm.
I was like, you hear all these like crazy noises in the beginning of the game. You have no weapons at this point, so you're just running around, and I'm just like running, and I was like running as fast as the guy could run, which really wasn't that fast, and I was like all freaked out. And then all of a sudden, this white van appears out of the fog. It is scared though. Fuck out of me. That was the biggest jump scare I've ever had in my life, just from a white van coming out of a.
All right, so Bello, do not make Shank stream that shit before you. We're gonna have problems. Because Shank said he would do it. Shank.
All right, the challenge has been thrown.
There you
Challenge
go.
has been thrown.
10
Okay,
gifted subs if you do it.
So
Matter of fact, I
I'm
shouldn't even have to bribe you because you already made that promise, bro.
the very, very last, and this is a great thing to kind of, I guess, close up the podcast on, is Nintendo has officially revealed that they are going to make an announcement before March of 2025 of the new Nintendo, the new Switch.
Nintendo Switch 2. It's not, so they're saying before March 2025, but not during their state of play, which is the Nintendo Direct that is happening next month, I think in June.
Yeah. So they now confirm they won't be making an announcement then, but they did confirm they will be making an announcement prior to that time. So that probably pretty much. Does that mean we're gonna get a Switch 2 for Christmas?
Yeah. So this Nintendo Direct is only going to be software based. It's only about new games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
'cause
seems
these games are in
unlikely
the
we'll get one for
pipeline,
Christmas.
and they need to make money off of them.
Right.
And I think they've already secured their parts sourcing from Nvidia. Last I heard, so
Oh, okay.
it's going to be backwards compatible if they.
I was about to
that
ask that
pans
question.
out.
Do you think it's going to
that
be
was the rumor
backwards?
we had last week was that the previous generations cartridges will work in the new Switch. So
it's the
that
same
is
hardware.
somewhat
Well,
confirmed. Yeah.
It's a new iteration of the same hardware. Sorry.
So
And-
Uncle Shank said when he gets to 100 followers on Twitch, he will stream Resident Evil 2
Bet.
remake. Let's
Bet.
get Uncle Shank to 100 subs, please.
It's,
What's your number right now, Shank?
link your Twitch right here. Link your Twitch for all of the everywhere all these different universes were being streamed on right now.
Bro, he's at 74. Shank is already at 74.
Well,
Yo,
He
let's
was
get
at
him to
like
100.
50 last week.
Bro,
We're gonna get
this
there.
man's grinding, bro. This man's going crazy right
Dude,
now.
I gotta
Shank-
dip out. It's
All
been
right,
fun.
Reaper.
Yo, have a
Shank-
good night, Reaper. Thank
It's
you
a
for
good
coming
show
through,
as
bro.
always.
Shout out to
Weekly
Reaper.
folks. Good
Shout out
combos.
to Reaper. Always great perspectives, and it's great to have someone in the industry that is like.
Please follow Reaper.
I'm
I
trying.
was about to shout out Shank.
Take it easy, y'all.
I want to shout out Shank because I want Shank to get the follows, but I also want to shout out Reaper, which is very
Shank,
difficult right now.
Shank, you
You can do
accept
both.
that
Do Reaper
offer
now
from
'cause he's leaving.
BFN? Jink,
Yeah,
you
do
accept that
Reaper.
offer to do retro night with JFN, and you'll get that 100 in one stream. I guarantee you.
Yeah, we definitely need Shanked because I want to see that shit, bro. I'm looking forward to that stream too. Bello. I will
All
be
right. Well, that
RE3 for
was
PlayStation 1. No, you're not playing the PS1. You're playing the remake. That's what we agreed to. That's what we agreed to, Bello. But yo, tonight was an awesome episode, bro. Like,
hell yeah. Like
so
this was
much fun.
probably. I think this is probably the most natural of episodes we've had so far. We've had some bangers in the past, but this felt like the most natural one. Like, um,
Yeah.
seriously, like that.
My Marvel shit alone took up most of the
That
podcast. To be
Marvel,
honest.
yeah. Shout out to you, Cash, for having that Marvel like content on lock so quick like that. It was great
It's
to be
very,
able to watch it.
bro. It's very intriguing, bro. I'm very interested. I want to see what it's like. I want to experience the game. I want to.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, thank you for the biddies, Reaper. 25 bits. Let's 25. Yes, 25 bits. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Have a good night, bro.
While we're closing out here, I just want to say shout out to these two here, Heartless and Cash, for
Yes, sir.
amazing Fight Night Fridays every Friday. Like these last few, every week it gets better, and it's such a well polished concept and a well polished idea. It's like if you
Thank you,
guys
bro.
have
Thank
a
you.
free
Thank you.
Friday night, check it out. You guys won't regret it. It's so fun. But
And yo, somebody dropped like $100 last one, bro. And yo, I hear tell some people were very upset that they missed it. I'm just gonna
yeah,
say.
like that's what you get. If you miss out, if you skip out on these two dudes, you never know. You might be you ruin your chance to walk away with cash prizes. So
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was amazing. Cash, you twisted my arm. Listen, you're going to play it, Bello. And I'm gonna let the whole community know. We're gonna start spamming it in your chat. Play Resident Evil 2 remake.
I see this becoming a content series. And then it'll be 3, and then it'll be 4.
Right, exactly. That's exactly where I want to get Bello to do because my next game, it looks like the decision's already been made. I'm playing Resident Evil 4 remake. That's my next game to beat on stream, and I
Just
usually
remember,
play it in my
just
heart rate
remember,
monitor.
don't play RZ5 because apparently it's racist. Just remember.
Whatever. I'm looking forward to playing that. Listen, what I was about to say was probably gonna like rub people the wrong way, so let me shut up. We're not trying to, But yeah, it's 2 players, so I'm probably get Bella to play that one with me too. But yeah, I also have the that jacket that Leon has. I actually have that jacket. I would play in it, but that shit probably hot as hell. Okay, that went quiet real quick. Like, hello, am I the only one here?
Hello.
Hi, what's good? All right, y'all. So, thank you guys for an
Hold on.
amazing show, bro. Shout outs to the chat,
You know what
as
time it is.
active as ever.
That was a great show. How long we were on here? 3 hours and 14 minutes.
No, you know what time it is though.
It's that time. It's that time. Let's go.
Oh, all right, let's go. You
My
got it,
favorite
man.
part of the show.
First off, before we get off, I gotta say shout out to my co-hosts, Cash and Germ, and shout out to Reaper for the guest appearance. No soul here saying there's a subject we got to talk about for next week. So,
Which is
it truly affects the gaming industry more than anything. Drop it for us so we can plan for it.
Yeah, we
In
have
the meantime-
in the Discord. There's an area to put suggestions.
yeah. Let's drop it in there. Drop it in the Gamer Actual podcast suggestions.
Is
We
there
may
any
not
you can put here as
them,
well?
but
We'll
we
read it.
always read them for the
Mhm.
notes. So don't hesitate to put them out there.
You got it. So for our affiliate links, the first one we got here is Origin PC for the 12th week in a row. You guys know the deal. Are you trying to build the ultimate gaming PC? Then look no further than Origin PC. They're an award-winning PC building company, whether you're a gamer or a professional gamer. Origin PC has you covered. Check them out by clicking the link in the show notes or the description of this podcast. Also, this is an affiliate link, so any qualifying purchase will result in us getting some money, please. And thank you. Just kidding. Next one up on the list is GameFly. Looking for the ultimate gaming experience without breaking the bank? With GameFly, you can rent discs hassle-free, dive into unlimited gaming, and snag great deals on used games and movies. Use GameFly to check out games you're not so sure about, and once you've decided, you can buy them outright at a discounted price or send it back with no problem. Want to pause your subscription? You can do that at any time. GameFly makes it easy to check out games on your terms. Click the affiliate link in the show notes to get started. And as always, any qualified purchase will result in us getting commission and no cost to you. I only say that because it's in
That was
parentheses for some
that was-
reason.
I did it. I don't know why I did it. I was just did. I
that
just
was
did.
this one yet. So and also he's talking about panning for non-competes.
Yeah.
That is true in some areas of the country, but the state of California specifically, non-competes are not a thing anymore. There was legislation that got passed this year against it. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother. That's for
Who
a whole
just got a
nother.
raid by GWT Mari? Who's that?
Hey, yo.
Welcome in.
Welcome
Welcome
in.
in.
Let's go. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. If you tell us who your 3 favorite moms in gaming are.
Oh, you just gonna hit him with the question of the day
Right away.
Right?
Boom.
Just like
Right,
that.
just like
Just like that.
that.
right away? That's
I fuck with you.
crazy.
Thank you. Thank you for the raid. Yeah, go back, Jerem. Go
Be
back,
sure to
Jerem.
drop. Be sure to drop this person to follow. Sorry, Gash, I cut you off.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. I'm saying you were
Oh,
about
yeah,
to say
be sure to
something.
drop Goot Mori the follow. I'm unfamiliar with you, but I want to become friends, so I'll drop. Be sure to get you that follow.
Thank you for the word. Welcome in. We just had a question of the day. What is your top 3 mom in video games?
Well, while
But
Goot's
Jerem, keep going.
preparing that, this has been a banger show. A lot of great news coverage overall, and I also just want to be clear about our intentions of this podcast is we aren't experts in anything, but we have opinions and thoughts about different. We do research prior to the show, and we do as much research as we can with the resources we have available to us. So if we ever say anything that may not be in line with the current state, or maybe other news that contradicts, or maybe we just didn't check the right sources, be sure to let us know and be sure to call
Hey,
us
yo,
out.
thank you for the follow. Sorry, Jerem. Keep going.
Because we want to know that when we're talking to you, that we are actually giving you guys the right perspective. That is going to, be something you guys can build on and take with you outside
Also,
of the
please share the podcast outwardly, please, because we would like to get some more. We want to attract some more peoples in the industry that would, be willing to come on the show or be excited to come on the show. Willing sounds weird. Be excited to show up on the show because they've seen what we are putting out. So we love that.
Something that I want to champion as well to the chat here, anyone that's listening on all the different platforms, is we are interested in getting the female's perspective on gaming as well. So if you guys know anyone that is in the industry that is part of it and has passion and opinions and just wants to be heard, we want to get that female perspective out there to the world.
So Goot Mari picked one on my list. So he said Faye from God of War, and I'm not sure who else of the top of my head. All right, Faye, we'll take the Faye.
We'll take the
She
Faye.
was on mine. She was on mine. She was on mine as well. That's what's up. Also, if you'd ever be down, I'd love to chat with you guys about possibly hopping on show sometimes.
Absolutely.
You guys seem awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
that.
you. You seem awesome to just pop in and just like be a part of the show as well, bro. Shout outs to you.
Yeah. If you have anything you want to promote, like your Twitter or anything, don't hesitate. But yeah, that was a great show, dudes. Like seriously, I don't know how we keep banging them out like this.
But we get better every week. Every week. So yeah.
Good luck to whoever has to edit this, because good luck, because this might be a tough one. But Reaper, like
actually no, this I think it's about the same time as most of our other shows.
Oh, really?
So, like yeah,
roughly maybe just about 10 minutes over, 20 minutes over.
Yeah, 20 minutes over. We're just a little over tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so guys, we are going to spread the love right now. Please stay in. Please lock it in.
Who we
and
said?
we're gonna
Who
send
we,
over to a fellow teammate. He doesn't know what's about to happen because I don't even think he was in the stream. So we're about to raid out one of our teammates. This is called Pinksy Gaming. A very he's a variety streamer for sure. He plays Monster Hunter. He plays Overwatch. Right now, I think he's playing what is Pinksy playing right now? Scarlet Nexus. So if you guys are into games like those, let's go over there. Let's send some love over to Pinksy. Tell him Cash sent you. Much love, much appreciation. Matter of fact, don't tell him Cash sent you. Tell him the guys at Gamer Actual sent you.
yeah.
Oh
You know what I
god.
mean? So much love to y'all. And I'll catch you guys later. Thank
Thanks
you
for the
guys
good.
for the show. I'll catch you next time. All right, for sure. Thank you for coming in. Reaper, have a good night.
Yeah.
Good Maury, thank you and welcome in. Thank you for the follow. No Soul, have a good night. Germ, have a good night. Bello, have a good night. And I need to see you play Resident Evil, Bello. Shank, have a good night. Who else? Who else was in here? Lucky Gadget Girl, have a good night. Everybody who
Love
popped in
y'all.
cubes, have a good night. We love all of y'all, man. Much love, much appreciation, y'all. Have a good night. Peace.
Be safe, y'all. If you haven't hugged your mama yet today, please sure to do so.
We rated out to them, so Pinksy got the raid.
Cool. We still live?
Yeah, we're at the end it now.